Yeah. All right, it's Ethan Van Sciver. Welcome to ComicArtistPro Secrets. Feeling pretty good right now. Indulged in a little bit of wine. Glad you could spend this evening with me. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time tonight. That's right. Yes. ComicArtistPro Secrets. I'm Ethan Van Sciver, 26-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming and disarming, elegant and yet eloquent, humble because I fumble. Man, great big Star Wars fan, trusted member of the media, and all of that. Hi, everyone. Hi. Kung Fu says, EVS in the house. I am in the house. That's my house. Otherberry says, did the frog log work? Well, I'm glad that you asked, Otherberry. This morning, the pool guys came over, and they looked very, very confused. They looked irritated, in fact. This is what Andrea told me. Andrea said they looked irritated, and they were trying to fish something out of the pool. And Andrea thought maybe it was a turtle. Andrea was like, is there a turtle in the pool that they're trying to fish out of the pool? Could it be a turtle in there? And she went out and said, what is it? What is it? And one of the guys pulled out the frog log, one of the frog logs, and he held it up as though it were a dead rat. And Andrea said, what the holy hell? Well, you know, they figured out pretty quickly that it was indeed a frog log. And these guys think I'm nuts. These guys are like, you actually care about saving frogs? These guys don't know me very well. It's not like I have a personal relationship with my the guys who come over and fix my pool. But they don't understand how I feel about frogs getting in the filter. And so they're confused about that. They're like, what the holy hell? What is this?
It's important that you help them.
You know what? I agree, Eric. I don't know why other people do not understand.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? They're going to drown. Right? I mean, they would just drown without me. So
that's inhumane, or would it be in frog mane? I don't know how that works.
No, it's inhumane because, you know, I'm a human being who cares about living things. And you know, of course I do. Of course I want all frogs to be okay in my pool. I want them to feel welcome. You know what I mean? I want them to be like, but you know, look, I'm going to go to Ethan's pool. I mean, that's the kind of relationship that I want to have with Mother Nature, at least around my house. And these guys didn't understand it. So I want to thank everyone who sent me all of these. By the way, I have like 4 of them now at this point.
That's good. I mean, you know, once one gets clogged up, is it still useful? Now you've got a backup, several backups.
Well, you know, all it is it's a floating lily pad, okay, that kind of clings to the side of the pool. So frogs just go, when frogs get in the pool, they go, I don't know where to go. Where do I go? And the answer is you go to the floating lily pad that I have 4 of, and then you jump up on that. And from there, you can access the edge of the pool. Now, otherwise, there's no way to get out of the pool. You understand?
Yep.
And these guys don't care.
They don't care.
Welcome, Cal. How are you?
I'm great. Ethan, how are you doing?
A little drunk. Drunk.
I didn't have time to get a drink made. I saw the invite go up. I'm like, oh man, I got no liquor in me.
I'll sober up as time goes by. But you know, I put on a little. We went out in the pool. You know, enjoyed the pool. By the way, I think the spa is broken at this point. I think I don't want to point any fingers at anyone in particular, but I think someone who was not me or Andrea may have damaged the spa. So I got the guys coming over to fix that. They're like, we'll be here before the 4th of July. I'm like, well, you know, that's fine. I have no idea how much it's going to cost to repair the spa. You got to be kidding me. Everything with the pool is so goddamn expensive. Listen, We have a remote. Like when you have a pool, it's like owning a B-52 bomber. That's the technology that's involved with a swimming pool. This is not up to date. I'm like, how much does it cost to get like so that I can adjust the pool's temperature and things like that on an iPhone app? They're like, that's like $10,000.
That's a chunk of change there, for sure.
They get you with these pools. They really do. They think if you have a swimming pool, then you're stupid. So anyway, I have this remote control that looks like something RCA or TI Instruments put out in 1983. And I mean, that's what it looks like. This remote looks like a touch football, like one of those electronic football games from the late 70s.
Yeah. And
it stopped working, and I had to replace it, and it was $450 for just the remote.
Oh my gosh! And are you on a chlorine pool or is it salt water?
It's chlorine. Other people have said you should switch to salt water.
Yeah. It'll save you money in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Art City Comics says, "Hail Caesar, hi Art City." Amateur Anth is here. He says, "Never had have a pool on your property. It costs way too much." I disagree. I love it. So far it hasn't cost me so much except for just with repairs. But electricity and gas, that's not a problem. With a Z Cooper says, "Pools are overrated and a pain." I don't want to leave you with that impression. I love my pool. I'm out in it every single day. You guys have to understand the health and like the sunshine that I've absorbed. Eric, these people don't, they don't understand what our job entails.
There's a lot of sunshine involved.
No, there's no sunshine involved. Exactly. It's the opposite, Eric.
Exactly.
You got to get with me here on the same gate.
No, we're there. I was just being sarcastic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's no sunshine involved. There's no exercise. So you're inside. You're slowly becoming Gollum from the Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm. Bags under your eyes, pale skin. Yeah. Horse speaking.
People go, "Why are you so fat? Why do you think I'm so fat? Why would you think I would be fat?" I mean, this is what, but then again, I mean, Von Klaus comes in and he's not fat at all.
That's true.
What fat discussion? What'd I miss?
No, we're talking about how unhealthy. So we're talking about how unhealthy it is to be a comic book professional.
Oh yeah.
It is, right? And then
no doubt.
So you want to get out. If you have a swimming pool, you want to get out into it and just enjoy the sunshine. So that's been a tremendous thing for me, is just to get out there and float around in my pool. And I'm vamping right now. Some of you guys are like, "How drunk is Ethan?" Not that drunk. The whole time that I'm talking this nonsense, I'm putting Monster M.D, Shinobi Sasquatch, I'm putting Flying Fortress into the description. So you guys have to at some point acknowledge my incredible professionalism.
Very high quality production.
Yes. All right. Let's see. Couldn't save changes. Please review your video details. Why won't you save this? I don't.
Hey Ben.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Ben, how you doing here? I love it.
All right.
Good.
Welcome, Ben.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Something's wrong, and I'm gonna fix it right now. Don't worry. All right. Let's see. No, we got everything except for Monster M.D. All right, back Monster M.D. here. See, I shouldn't have said that because now I look stupid. Ben, how are you today? How's your new comic doing? Why don't you tell people about it?
It's good. It's good. Offworldercomic.com. It's a star-spanning epic, sci-fi epic. It's written by Mike Barron, creator of Nexus. Yeah, man, it's doing good.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm glad Mike Barron is ComicSGATE. I'm glad he's doing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, he's amazing, man. It's been great working with him, and doing a sci-fi story. Of course, he's perfect. And
yeah.
Yeah, he is perfect.
All right, so let me tell everybody who's in the chat. Now, a lot of people are saying to me, Ethan, by the way, guys, just so you know, the live streams that we've been doing together with this new crew, ComicSGATE live telethons, promoting new comics that I think are the best of the best that are out there right now. I'm getting excellent feedback. People really are happy to meet you guys, and I think it's showing. I think that the support that you guys are receiving from the audience has been pretty stellar. I think everyone owes ComicSGATE a big thank you for that. You guys are kicking ass. And so just to introduce everyone, in case you guys haven't met them yet, in case everyone in the audience hasn't met these 3, and I think I've got like 5 or 6 new campaigns altogether. In case you guys haven't met them yet, first of all, Akuma says you're all gay. I mean, not all of us.
Stop it.
Yeah. I want to introduce you to Von Klaus of Monster M.D. And by the way, Monster M.D. is Von Klaus. You've got to be feeling pretty good right now. Monster M.D. has been an absolute runaway sensational hit.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's making a dream come true, and I thank everyone for it so much. We're gonna put out a great book for you guys, and what's great is you're gonna get a lot for your money. If you just get the regular signed book, you're also getting pins and patches and all kinds of good stuff. So please, please check it out if you haven't already. It's the best thing I've ever made, and we have an incredible dream team making it. So I think you guys are gonna dig it.
All right, so let's look at this, by the way. Like, don't listen to Vaughn. Vaughn, like, of course Vaughn's going to say that. You know, Vaughn's promoting himself. Vaughn would say that even if his book was horrible. But Vaughn's book is not horrible. His book is really, really, really good. And most people who are seeing this are like, hey, it's kind of like a spooky horror, gore, zombie, you know, classic monsters book that, frankly, I would give to my kids. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that you're iffy on that.
For everyone. I am, because I know what scenes come later that you haven't seen yet. But it really, what's funny is that the idea did start off as a family movie idea, kind of like a la Pixar. And then I had a nightmare one night about a guy in this beat up old van with all these medical supplies in it, strapping down a guy who turns into a werewolf and is snapping at him. And I was like, oh, I gotta make this a little more adult, at least teenagery. And that's where this came from.
It's awesome. Now, I'm the type of guy who would show my kids Pet Sematary, the new Pet Sematary movie.
Well, you're a good dad. You're good. Yeah. You're like my dad. You're like, hey, this is called RoboCop. And you know,
yes,
I think a lot of
that was a brutal movie. When you watch that opening scene of the just the brutality of the guy who was to become RoboCop, you know, just getting mowed down and abused, just sadistically. That's
his hand exploding.
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah.
Gross.
Oh yeah. But in the 80s, dads thought because it was RoboCop that it was kind of kid friendly, that it had kind of a toy quality to it,
yeah,
and so they showed it to us.
But you can have violence in the 80s too.
How?
That's the whole thing about CyberFrog, by the way. That's the same trick. People go, CyberFrog, that's for little children, right?
And then
boom, we hit them with the reality that no, it is not for kids. Well, I mean, it is.
Human skin nests.
Yeah, look at this. Now, this is the key right here. This is the god soy bomb attracting all of the Vespis nests to Earth. He is saying now it is time. Now, I don't know if you guys remember in 1998, January of 1998, Radio City Music Hall, the music video awards, I think MTV Music Video Awards. Bob Dylan got up there and he tried to sing a song, and Soy Bomb got up there. Some guy who wrote Soy Bomb on his chest. And he started dancing and gyrating, and people were very confused about it. That was in 1998. Now, I'm here to tell you that what that was a supernatural alien signal to the Vespis that Earth was now soy-based enough that they had been soaked in soy to the degree where now it was time to invade and take over. So as you can see, this is the image of Soy Boy in the universe, letting them know that now is the time.
It was the dance heard across time and space.
Of course, absolutely, of course. So this is the thing. I mean, this is how we feel about Monster M.D. I mean, Monster M.D. is the same thing. You look at it and you go, this looks like it's for kids. Does it really? I mean, you know, you've got, you know, monster violence and cool action and stuff. But yeah, it is. I would still give it to my kids.
All right. Cool.
I like the hypodermic needle coming right at you. You know, it's like that's Bella Lugosi point of view here. I shouldn't have said that. You know, it's probably too soon. But in any case, this is the incredible work of Von Klaus. And the link is in the description. If you guys have not yet backed Monster MD, I don't know what you're waiting for. Everyone else has, it seems like. Monster MD is absolutely crushing it. Vaughn, what is it about, by the way?
It's about an underground doctor to the local monsters and his amazing invisible surgical assistant, Heidi, and the crazy adventures they get into. In this story, though, he wants out. He doesn't think he has what it takes to be a monster doctor anymore. When he discovers that the masked madman who cut off his arm in the past and ruined his medical career already is out there hunting monsters, he thinks he's really out. I mean, this is the guy who puts the fear of God into him. And, you know, so he thinks he's out, but Heidi ends up getting kidnapped, and he ends up having to decide, am I with this? Am I going to work with the monsters and save her, or am I done for good? You'll notice that he's got this zombie arm attached for his left arm. That's not his. He says it's an arm that's just on loan. So you get to discover how he gets that too, and maybe discover that there's some interesting powers to it along the way. So it's a really cool story.
I absolutely love it. It sounds great. By the way, what is that? What is that red? Is that a lunchbox behind you on your shelf? What is that?
My shelf?
Yeah, like right behind you. There's like a red and yellow. Is that a lunchbox or what is that?
Oh, that is a Flash Gordon book of old school Flash Gordon comics.
Flash Gordon.
Not the movie Flash Gordon.
Okay, I worried that it might have been Flash Gordon. I'm glad that it's not.
Classic Flash Gordon. Yeah, we got Preacher.
Flash Gordon is on Cecil's bookshelf.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
No
That's
doubt.
right. Yeah.
Human Skull. Preacher. A lot of good old comics from Vertigo before they, as you know,
Rip.
drown in soy. And we've got a lot of Walking Deads with a human skull on top. We've got a 1950s Black Panther lamp. Yeah, we've got all kinds of fun stuff.
A 1950s Black Panther lamp?
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't say that the character, just those were really popular in the 50s. People were making Black Panther lamps.
Oh, literally like a Black Panther, like a cat, not the character from Marvel Comics.
That's right.
Okay, got it. All right, so the other person we've got in here, we've got some more people. We've got Cal. Cal is a legend. Cal is... Here's the thing, there are very few occasions in which I receive unanimous praise for a book. I mean, where everyone is saying, Ethan, why are you not promoting this? Why won't you promote this? And Shinobi Sasquatch had everybody talking to me about it, saying, you've got to back this, you've got to support it, you've got to promote it on your show. And I said, okay, yeah, I will. Once I looked at it. Now, Cal is from Phoenix, Arizona. Cal, it's got to be 150 degrees right now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'm digging a ditch in my backyard right now because I have like all these freaking dead weeds. I have like 100 pounds of dead weeds, and I can't burn them because it's no burn till like September. And I don't have like they're not doing green trash cans around here. So I literally, all I can do is just bury the dead weeds. So I'm out in not 150, but 105, 110 degrees.
That sounds like a goddamn nightmare. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's terrible. I should be writing, but I got the HOA they're strict, and apparently they have someone like peeking over the fence to look in the backyard, saying I have like a fire hazard.
Oh my God.
You've got like the neighbor from your neighbor's like Tom Hanks from the Burbs.
Yeah, they're worse, man. I don't know. I freaking hate HOAs. Gosh darn it, they're terrible.
Oh, by the way, let me read some super chats. Michael Ross says, "Sending my free super chat to you for the pool fund. Thank you. It's gonna be like $1,000 to fix this goddamn pool." Amateur Ant says, "I'm getting drunk. You should too." LOL. I'm already drunk. I had just a half bottle of wine. I'm not drunk. I'm very happy right now. Micah D2 says, "Gotta say, you are one hell of a promoter. I haven't bought a comic since '92. Now I have a bunch coming. My wife hates you. LOL."
Yeah.
Do about that. Darth Gavel says, "Damn it all, Caesar, I have to work tonight." Well, you do. You have to work on promoting these comics with me. We got a lot, and the thing about it is also, we're promoting Shinobi Sasquatch. We're promoting Flying Fortress. We're promoting Monster MD. Adam's here. What's Adam's book again?
College of the Dead.
College of the Dead. We're promoting College of the Dead tonight, and most of all, we're promoting the end of CYBERFROG and Vampirella, the variant cover. So we need you guys here. We're gonna be here to end this. We're gonna watch it end. It's gonna be fun. White Wolf says, Uncle E, it's Canada Day. Can Canada get a shout out? Anytime. Welcome America's hat, Canada. Happy Canada Day. Richard Dunn says, I'm a little drunk too. Hail Caesar. Love the new guys. Back Sasquatch, Flying Fortress, Iron Sky, and Monster MD. Exciting times. ComicSGATE grows and soars. Hell yes, it does.
Thank you.
We gotta get Iron Skies funded. All right, let's get back to Shinobi Sasquatch here. Cal Jameson of Phoenix, Arizona, out there working in 115-degree weather with his hands. Brings you an adventure unlike any other. Cal, what is Shinobi Sasquatch about while I show people the artwork?
Yeah, so Shinobi Sasquatch is about a Bigfoot who was trained as a master ninja and then contracted lycanthropy. So he's a Bigfoot ninja werewolf, and he fights, evil in all its forms in the Pacific Northwest. And in the first book, he's uncovered a plot by a secret kind of like old god worshipping organization to enslave everyone in the whole region, mobilize them as a zombie army to take over the nation and then the world. And I know people keep telling me, well, Portland is pretty much just full of zombies already. What's the difference? So we'll see at the end of book 1 what happens there. But yeah, so and he's got a couple of friends. He's got on the cover. You just scrolled past it, but on the cover there's Penny, the volitional vagrant. She's kind of wealthy, but she's chosen. She's been poisoned by soy-based professors at college.
These bastards.
Yes, and she thinks that she needs to live in solidarity with the homeless. So she's kind of out there on the streets, but she's a butt kicker. And then we have a tribute to Burt Reynolds in the book is Bo the Vampire. And he looks just like Bandit from Smokey and the Bandit. And there's no art of him yet, but I can't wait to start showing you guys some of that stuff.
You had me at Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, when I had the character planned completely different, but when Burt Reynolds died, I had to just do an homage to him in the books. So,
awesome.
Yeah, and Ethan, I don't know if you've noticed on the cover, there's kind of a tribute to your all caps branding. So I just kind of created a logo for and it says lowercase
comics. Excellent. I love it. That's awesome. Kind of understated. I mean, I'm like all caps. You're like lowercase.
Yeah. That was before I ever came on your stream. I should just change it to something more dynamic now. But
I love it. I think it's cool. I like it. It's like very E.E. Cummings. It's like you might be screaming I'm understated, but what I'm saying is wiser. Now we go down here and we look at this artwork. I still am perplexed and bewildered and fascinated by this werewolf. I love Shinobi Sasquatch when he turns into a werewolf.
Yeah.
By the way, do you really think that Bigfoot could be trained in the ninja arts? I mean, if like in real life, do you think Bigfoot? I don't.
Not in real life, no, probably not. Not the Bigfoot I believe in.
Well, they're already pretty good at hiding, so
they're hard to find. You can't find them.
That's a ninja.
They are ninjas. Perfect.
That's true. Mayor McCheese has a Shinobi Sasquatch that also is a werewolf. Is like putting Cocoa Puffs in chocolate milk. I couldn't have said it better myself, Mayor McCheese. It's just so wonderful. It's two great things that obviously go even better together. Sasquatch werewolf. By the way, all of these books are available. If you want to back them, if you're looking at this and going, yeah, I kind of want to read that. That sounds pretty cool. Like, the link is in the description. You'll be able to pick it up. It looks like most of it's finished already, so it's going to get to you pretty quickly. You're not going to have to wait like you had to wait for CyberFrog. CyberFrog,
I gotta cut you off. It is not almost done. There's a lot of great artwork out there, but Rob's chugging along at Rob pace, which is.
Can we beat him? I mean, does he need to be horsewhipped? What can we do?
He's going as fast as he can. He's just so. I mean, you know, when you zoom in on those details, you you just see it's got to take him forever. You were saying on the last stream that you zoomed in and you're saying, man, this panel had to take all day. So we were hoping to have more of the book done by the time we launched, but we are where we are. But we do have him on the hook to finish the whole book, so people will get it.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so this is the thing, by the way. If we could just we can do this pretty quickly. So we've got Von Klaus here. We've got Cal Jameson here. These are two guys who are you guys friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Are you guys going to stay friends? Or are you going to get mad and get into some weird Twitter fight that I have to mediate?
No, we're friends till the end.
Okay.
Not
good.
my style.
Excellent. That's what I want to hear. That's reassuring to me. I'm tired of mediating Twitter fights. You guys have to understand one thing. And one thing that I get out of both of you is that neither of you think I'm your dad. And I really appreciate that. Thank you. A lot of people think I am their dad and I'm here to solve their problems. I'm not. I'm just here to sell comic books to them and to entertain them on Comic Artist Pro Secrets. So thank you for being grown-ups. Now, having said that, once both of you guys reach $40,000, and I will say, neither of you are very far from that. You guys are going to produce a 20-page comic written by you, Von Klaus, illustrated by Rob Willis, in which Shinobi Sasquatch teams up with Monster M.D. That sounds like a fucking great bonus to me.
Yeah. I was worried we weren't going to hit it, and then you had us on, and I'm positive we're going to hit that 40K.
Yeah, now you're going to have to do it. So sorry. So Shinobi Sasquatch book 1 is at 34,496. Monster M.D. zooming right along at 36,751. With 27 days left. This book right here, Von, you have a hit.
Yeah. I can't thank you guys enough.
Well, don't thank me. All I did was let people know. This is a hit book, Von. You would, if only you had people seeing it, this would have happened. This is going to happen anyway. You are probably. This could have the gasoline to get to 6 figures.
That'd be awesome.
Possible.
It's got to get eyes on it.
Yeah,
those eyes on it. I mean, it does have that appeal for the comics world, the horror world. Even some of the manga people have really gotten in on this. I mean, it does have a lot of fun things that I love, all wrapped up into a fun package. So
yes, indeed. All right, so let me look at some more super chats that are coming in, guys. Thank you for the super chats. I'm gonna need them to fix my goddamn pool. Darth Gavel says, everyone be sure to lick that like button. Thank you for $2. Professor Ramendev for $5 says, you're not our dad, you're our uncle. That's correct. I'm your uncle. I'm your cool uncle. I take you out for rides on my motorcycle if I had one. Like, that's the kind of guy I am. I'm not here. If you go, I have a problem, you know what I say? I go, ask your dad. That's what an uncle does. Talk to your dad. So just so you know, and I'm not here to solve anyone's problem. I'm here to, if anything, cause some more problems, but not solve any. Edwin Boyette says, thank you for the promotions. Many of these people are at the beginnings of lifelong careers that will produce a ton of great stories. Thank you, Edwin. You're so right. I mean, it's encouraging people to, when you have artistically creative people like this, being able to encourage them to do more it's like a duty and an honor. Honestly, it's a lot of fun. Frank Valero says, my wife threw away my pee cup, so now I have to get out of bed in the night and use the can. Thank you, Frank Valero, for $10. These wives, I don't know what they're up to.
$10 well spent.
Yeah. All right, so Monster MD's let me see. Let me refresh it. Does anyone back this? Yeah, a little bit. You're getting a little support here. $36,848. And if we go over to Shinobi Sasquatch, guys, what we need to do is we need to get both of these gentlemen, 34,531, over 40,000, and I'm sure we can do it. Now, Cal.
Yes.
Cal.
How are the oranges in Phoenix right now?
The oranges?
Yeah.
I haven't had an orange in Phoenix. I don't think I've had an orange in Phoenix.
What are you talking about? There are orange trees everywhere, Cal. Are you lying about being from Phoenix?
Well, I'm from San Diego, but I've been in Phoenix for about 3 years now, and I have not eaten an orange. I don't think. What's going on?
I used to steal them off of my neighbor's trees and then juice them and then put vodka in them. Those were the days.
Cal's gonna get scurvy if he doesn't eat any oranges.
How's your gum line?
Yeah.
Oh, I drink lots of margaritas that have lime juice in them.
Okay.
There's your vitamin C.
Cal, I think you're lying. I don't think you've ever been to Phoenix.
You know what? I wish you were right, man. I really
know.
do.
I lived in Mesa, Arizona for like a year and a half, and I swear to God, I wanted to kill myself. And then, I watched Cops on TV, Bad Boys. And the opening sequence, I swear to God, has a police car going right through my neighborhood. I was like, that's my Taco Bell. What the hell? That's when you know you got to move, when your neighborhood is in the opening sequence of Cops. Okay. Art City Comics says, where's your amazing Vestige cover? Hail Caesar. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Don't you worry about it. Told Andrea today I'm drawing again. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good about drawing. All right, so let's move over to Eric Weathers here. Eric Weathers, of course, is the leading voice in lettering.
Hello there. That's me. I'm Eric Weathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edwin Boyette says Eric Weathers' Flying Fortress is a massive book for the money. 200 plus pages. Eric, tell me a little bit about the Flying Fortress.
Yes, as Edwin said, over 200 pages of story is going to be put together, and it tells the story of Captain Reynolds and the B-17 crew bombing Betty. They are on their last mission. 25.
Betty Brightweiser?
Sorry?
They're bombing Betty Brightweiser?
No. Bombing
They didn't
Betty.
do nothing.
No.
Is there a scene where they bomb the Brightweisers? Yes or no?
That's a negative.
Stretch goal?
Maybe.
Right.
I mean, stretch goals can really bring out anything.
All right, so we get to $20,000 and we bomb Mitch Brightweiser. I mean, I don't. It's not like I want it to happen in real life.
I can't really condone that. I mean, I've got a letter, Red Rooster, so I don't. That's kind of important.
Well,
so I think maybe not.
Halfway through it, you'll be changing your mind. Trust me.
Yeah. So they go on a top secret mission to bomb Hitler.
Oh, Hitler.
No
That's
correlation.
different. Right.
Yeah. And they get shot down after delivering their successful payload. They get shot down by an experimental fighter and they crash land through an interdimensional portal into the Middle Ages. Although they don't realize that at the time. They soon discover a plot by a group known as the Infinite Reich to take over every dimension. And they have to try.
The Infinite Reich is much more like substantial. The original Nazis thought they would just be 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't. They were like 13. Yeah. No, they weren't even 13. How long did the Nazis last? Like 10 years?
Well, I'm not sure when it founded. It's founded like what, 33?
33 or 31, something like that. Yeah. And then they were put down in 45, I would say. So
yeah, absolutely.
12 years. 12 years. It's a little bit off, And,
yeah. Well, they've got the enemies in our book have bigger plans.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
Grander
all right.
plan.
So all right. So they're going to be they're the infinity. Okay, the infinite Reich. They're never gonna stop.
That's correct. That's their plan.
Okay.
But you know what? There's always somebody trying to stop them. The Nazis always got enemies.
The Infinite Reich is multiple dimensions, isn't it?
That is correct.
So there are Nazis like on multiple alternate realities and multiple dimensions. It sounds very, very cool. Just a phrase, Infinite Reich.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound that cool. I mean,
I think I don't like Nazis.
Yeah.
In terms of it being an iconic title,
yeah, make that clear to people.
Right?
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
They're bad guys.
All right. Yeah, we've got 780 people watching right now that are like, just how cool do they think the Infinite Reich would be? Not cool at all. I mean, we just think it's a good idea for a comic book. Let's just make that clear. So
yeah, let's be clear.
Flying Fortress Remastered, they're the bad guys. The good guys are the B-17 crew that end up in a medieval world. What do they do in the medieval world?
Well, they fight Nazis. I mean, what are you going to do in a medieval world? They hook up with that sounds wrong. They meet a medieval helper by the name of Mason, and he's sort of the eyes on the scene, saying, "Hey, by the way, the Nazis are here, and they're really messing with stuff, and they've got some weird alien technology, and we need your help. So they get thrown right into this. They think the war's over. You know, they dropped their bombs on Hitler. They were ready to go home, but you know, they had other plans were made for them.
Yeah, they never. Okay, so they end up in the middle. Are they going to wear armor? Are they going to use swords like this guy back here? Are they going to blend in with the Middle Ages?
There are swords. There are knights versus Nazis. There are sort of pseudo zombie soldiers. It's all sorts of crazy stuff. I call it like Indiana Jones meets Stargate meets Memphis Belle. If you want to throw movies at it. So
yeah, that is awesome. All right, so Flying Fortress, 200 pages long. Now, if you look at these beautiful artwork, I've said over and over again that I think this looks like Howard Chaykin, and this has been colored by Kyle Ritter. Really, really, really beautiful. You get a bunch of stuff. Let me scroll down. This is the artwork for the book. 200 pages. It's a good thing that Eric offers you a bookmark because you're going to need it. You're going to settle in and enjoy a long read. This is what blows everyone's mind. This is a piece of artwork. It's a pinup by Ted Lehman. And look at this sucker.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
gorgeous.
Amazing detail.
Nobody's ever drawn better than this.
That's true. That's true. I'm blessed to have that as a part of the campaign. It really really blew me away when I first saw it. Still does. I mean, you look at it and I got the right colorist on it and everything. So looks
Who colored it? Oh, this guy here,
Yeah.
Prasad Patanic.
Yeah.
Pressy. These are all right. So these are the perks. These are the tiers. $25. Look at everything that you get. $30. You get the remastered digital PDF. That's 200 pages that you can read on your device. But for $35, you get what you really need. I mean, this is pretty ideal right here, and at a good price. You get the comic book. You get the bookmark. You get the incredible Layman print and a bomber patch that you can wear. And then for $50, you get one copy of the book. You get a print. You get a gigantic print. You get this Billy Tucci Rawhide Rosie print as well, and all of the things that you see here. The tiers are all pretty well laid out. $75 is crazy. You actually get a sketch along with everything. You get a hand-drawn sketch. That's not, that's nothing to sneeze at. $150, you get an original penciled page. $300, you get an original inked page. You're going to get a page of artwork to hang on your wall. And just remember that you supported this book. You have a piece of it.
Absolutely.
$400, you're going to get one of the original print run covers. That's limited. And $800, you are going to get the cover that is on the front of the book itself that everybody is backing.
Yep. And we in the updates there are I've been teasing some of the postcards that are coming out once we hit 20 grand. There we've got John Malin, we've got Kelsey Shannon, all the names are eluding me. They're on there.
Yeah.
Elliot Fernandez, Matt Weldon, Billy Tucci, of course. There's one or two others that are slipping my mind right now, but they're all going to do Bomber Girl pinups. I know Malin is doing a Lilith from Graveyard Shift as a Bomber Girl.
Cool.
Battle Maiden is one of them by Kyung Lee.
Yeah, I don't get invited to do these things, by the way, guys.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. I'm not. You know what? People don't invite me to do things. Some people go, "Hey, will you promote my comic?" Nobody says, "Draw my comic," and I'm like, "Oh, well."
I'm just saying there are some DMs in your Twitter.
I think we all think you're too busy, Ethan.
Yeah.
That's probably good. It's probably good for people to think I'm too busy, and that's a good excuse, I guess. Shinobi Sasquatch, let's go back and check this again. Just going through real quick. Cal Jameson, Shinobi Sasquatch, $34,543. Monster M.D. These books need to get to $40,000. We're getting pretty close. I think we're edging up on $37,000 right now for Monster M.D. $36,905. Now, what we need to do is we need to take a moment and talk to Adam Post. Hello, Adam Post.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I've had quite a day today. Quite a day, and I'm happy to see you.
Yeah, great to see you too. Great to see the guys.
Now, Adam Post does a comic book that everyone recommends to me. I don't know, I don't know how many people are watching right now. 793. Are we at 7? All right. you guys, I don't know how many people in the audience actually enjoy zombie movies the way that I do. Adam, are you a zombie movie guy?
I'm a zombie movie guy and big on apocalypse movies. And there are actually a hell of a lot of them since like the 1950s, some really awesome black and white ones. There's a great nuclear apocalypse movie called On the Beach with Gregory Peck. The original was done, I think, in 60, 62 or something like that.
Who else is in that? Is Ava Gardner in that?
Norman,
No.
the guy who plays Norman Bates is in it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, that is such a cool movie. And the basic, this is not a graphic novel, but it's the same concept of being in an apocalypse. In that movie, the whole world has gone to war, nuclear war, except Australia. And Australia is just hanging out, and they're like, all right, well, so there was a world war. We didn't get involved. But then they realize the fallout is slowly coming towards Australia. And there's some hope that they can get away and they'll be able to survive, or at least a few people. But you see kind of like devastation is coming to Australia from the rest of the world as time goes on. And I really do. I like the apocalypse or coming apocalypse concepts because it's just so freaking interesting. So the guys in Australia, as it turns out, they go out on a ship and they try to figure out what's going on. But you get to see people living with kind of the end of their whole world. And what would you do if you only had 30 days to live and everyone else in your country only had 30 days to live? Though there's some hope you might live longer, but then you actually don't. So I really like those kind of setups. And similarly with College of the Dead, there is a professor who's kind of like, she's brilliant. She does sell drugs to students.
Well, that's normal.
It happens from time to time. Actually, part of what inspired me to do that was there was a barber who did sell pot to the kids at our high school, and kind of everybody knew, and he got away with it. And I don't know what happened.
Barber, so a guy that cut hair. He was selling pot.
A guy that cut hair, and he was like probably 1,000 feet from the high school. But if you wanted pot, you'd go buy pot from him.
Wow.
So one-stop shop. You get your haircut, you get your pot.
One-stop shop. So what our professor
Yeah,
does.
it was a very relaxing day.
Our professor, if you remember, there are similarities to the premise of Breaking Bad, where you've got this trusted teacher, you've got this trusted authority figure who's doing what they feel like they need to do. They're making money, and she has her reasons, this professor. She is doing it to afford medications for her daughter, but she does like the power of being able to manipulate people with the drugs and to be able to manipulate people with her just general sneakiness. She gets other people in trouble for what she's actually doing. So in the beginning of the College of the Dead book, you see the professor is getting surrounded. The college is starting to get police running in, and the professor is like, oh, damn, we're getting caught. Her assistant tells her that, and she looks out the window, and then they notice, like, hey, wait a minute, the freaking police are getting eaten by zombies. What the hell's going on? Professor, because she's like this sociopath genius, figures out immediately, all right, people are getting eaten. It's a zombie apocalypse. I've got to adapt. So she figures out, okay, here's how I'm going to play my game so I can get students to run out and do the risky stuff so we can kind of go the other direction. And that's what you see in the cover of College of the Dead. You see a football player, because she kind of psyched up the football team. Ridiculous, but it happened. It's true. It's in the book. So she psychs up the football team to go and run and try to attack the zombies. They're like so strung out on amphetamines doing it. And then as they're doing that, it gives the professor and her daughter an opportunity to kind of run the other direction. And you have a classic zombie apocalypse situation where there are a band of college students that are also kind of around the professor, and a couple of them split off in a couple other smaller groups. And it sets us up in that world where they're surviving having been that apocalypse. And the book is actually completely finished. It was important to me to just get everything done. It's a 140-page book. It's very well written. I didn't write it. It's written by a gentleman named Stefan Petruka, who is a published horror writer in comics and in prose. and the artist is this guy Javier Aranda, and you can see the art from the cover of the book, The Football Player. He did a really great job on it. And you advised Ethan that I don't have a website that has the entire thing online. So actually, my website now redirects to the Indiegogo where it belongs.
That's right. That's probably the best thing.
.com will get you right to the Indiegogo, as the uncle has said, not the dad, but the uncle. And Javier did a wonderful job. He's already done that. He did. The truth of it is I love to create comics. I love to see the concepts come together. I love to collaborate with the team. Things start off as my idea, and then I kind of stay on top of it and get a feeling like it's being executed within the realm of my idea. But it's great when creators kind of take their own ownership of things and put their own ideas into it. And Stefan did that with the writing, and Javier definitely did that with the art. And to me, I'm very big on the process of making these things. So we're actually already into College of the Dead book 2, and it's again going to be a big 140-page, really cool book. And that's where the ash can came from for us. Was Javier did layouts of every page off of a full script from Stefan.
Crazy.
I love the production process. It's like, if you just pay these people and you have a fair rates and whatnot, they'll do what you ask them to do. They accept feedback. So we got a full script, and then we have layouts that show the layouts. It's really, really educational for anyone who wants to kind of see a comic get made, to see the full script, and then right next to the full script, you see a page of the layouts. So you see it translated. And sometimes Javier did it wrong, and sometimes he just took his creative liberties. And
Adam, I hate to interrupt you.
Oh, not at all.
But a lot of people are pointing out that you sound exactly like Billy Tucci.
No.
You do. Your voice is identical to Billy Tucci's. Billy Tucci and you could be, auditory siblings. And now, while you were talking, I wasn't concentrating on what you were saying, Adam. I confess. I was closing my eyes and thinking about Billy Tucci. I was like, does Billy Tucci sound? I was like, it does sound like Billy Tucci.
Well,
it does.
Billy and I actually have a little history, and Billy is, of course, Billy. He's a freaking amazing guy.
Yes, he is.
Like, back in every time I get offered, so I've been publishing a long time, and then I took a few years off and came back a few years off. So I was publishing in the 1990s, like in 1990, God knows what it was, 92 to 95. I had an office here in Long Island. Billy lives probably like 45 minutes from me or 30 minutes from me or something like that. We're both on the island. So Billy came in while I was doing Triumphant Comics. It was that Color series. We did like 6 ongoing titles, and there was some beautiful work in there. And
Adam, speed it up. Talk faster. Somebody is saying you talk one speed slower than Billy. So talk as fast as you can.
I'm going to do the best I can here. So long story short, he comes up to me, and Billy came into our office, and Billy's like, hey, I heard about you guys, and I want to publish this book called She. Yeah. And he showed it to me. He actually tells you about this in his interview. He tells you about the Triumphant Comics guys that he pitched it to. That was me. So I looked at the book. I'm like, hey, girl books don't sell. And if and Billy was like, well, all right, he's a great guy. He used to walk around in a long jacket. So anyway, Billy, we didn't do the deal. And then Billy went and did his own thing, and God bless him. He did phenomenal.
God bless him. He's doing a zombie book just like you. You see what I'm saying?
He is, but it's more than that.
Yeah.
The subtitle of Billy's zombie sequel, completely coincidentally, is called Dorm of the Dead. It's going to be Zombie Samba Dorm of the Dead. I'm like, that's perfect. By the way, I'm going to be on his show July 18th, so that should be crazy.
Oh, that's great. So College of the Dead comic book. This looks pretty cool. It looks like fun. If you like those zombie movies, the kind of stuff that I like, I really like zombie movies. Mm-hmm. This looks like a lot of fun. It's going to end up being a movie. You know it is. You know what I mean? It's going to end up getting optioned. It's going to be a movie, and we're all going to be jealous of Adam. A lot of us are going to be spiting him behind his back. I know I will be.
We'll be in the game together.
So if you want to back College of the Dead comic book, the link's in the description. Support this book. Let's get it to its goal. There are a couple of books that aren't at their goal yet, and it's important that we do that. The other one over here is our boy Vinny T. Vinny Tartamella. Vinny Tartamella, by the way. How you doing, Vinny? Let me preamble this. Vinny Tartamella does a lot of sketchbooks. He's been doing a lot of art books. He is a designer. He showed me all of the designs. He put them on Twitter. All the designs he did for Todd McFarlane Toys. And they're beautiful. I can't believe you did that stuff. That stuff is fucking awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a ton of work. I mean, I love working on all that kind of stuff. I mean, we went from Middle Age Vikings to rock musicians. I mean, it was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful, beautiful work. Now he's here offering his, a new comic book called City of Venus, Dead City. And I got to ask, Vinny, can you give the elevator pitch? What's this about?
Sure. It's a post-apocalyptic action sci-fi story. There's a woman who unknowingly has the power to save the world. So
yeah, if a woman had that
essentially,
power,
it's
she'd
an
know it, and she'd never shut up about it, Vinny. I mean, that's the one thing. Right now,
that's why she doesn't know.
Oh, she doesn't know. Okay, all right. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. All right. No, it's good. Yeah, she didn't know. That's why. She's not a whammon. But yeah, no, it's an action-packed story. It's set in a post-apocalyptic future where most technology is dead, except for the main villains of the book, who are actually in this floating city. They have high-tech weaponry and this power supply that's like endless, and they experiment on anyone that they find, any survivors. So below, like on the regular land, is mutated and sick people, all experimented on, and underneath that are like the scavengers. The people are still alive. But it's not like they're not in like a sewer system or anything like that. I set this this project so far into the future where I kind of did almost a little bit like Chicago, that they built the city on top of the city. Well, my idea was to go a little further. So it's like over all these centuries, there's been so many wars and the world has been destroyed so many times over, and they just kind of kept rebuilding. So below everything is like another, like kind of like a smaller, not necessarily a functional city, because again, there's no power anywhere except for on that floating one. But yeah, so everyone's trying to survive.
This is new, Vinny. I didn't see this piece before.
Yes, I added a couple more pages and more artwork for you guys. So yeah, so we're following this the lead character. I wanted to throw the viewer right into it with her. So she's having issues with her memory. She doesn't know how she got into this world, because where she came from is totally different. I'm gonna reveal that later on in like issue 2 and 3. But yeah, for this one, she just wakes up there and she's trying to find out, you know, what's going on and where she is, and it kind of the story unfolds from there. So the viewer is going to be taken on this journey with her.
I love it, Vinny. This is great. The artwork looks fucking. By the way, I'm editing out my curses. So in case they're kids, you got to learn to edit out your curses like they used to on TV, like back in the old days of TV. You know, they would just kind of, you would hear if somebody said the F word, you would hear, and then at the end, they would get out, they would take the vowel out. So we used to talk to each other like that in New Jersey public school. We'd be like, shut the fuck up. And then, and then the cut, but that's it. Like, so that didn't count as cursing. Anyway, this looks fan-fucking-tastic, Benny, and great job.
Thanks,
great job.
Yeah, I did all the art chores on this, everything from pencil straight through to the lettering. Wow.
Yeah, you're crushing it. I don't like this part, Benny. This part makes me think you're a communist spy. Why do you have this woman holding? I'm gonna ignore that part. But Vinny has worked for all the big companies: McFarlane Toys, Bowen Designs, Diamond Select. You know.
The only reason why those are on there is so people know more of some of the work that I've done, because those actually hit media all over the world, and those numbers are actually pretty sick for what that project actually was. And I only did covers. I was hired to do portraits. That's it.
Yeah. Let me see. Nobody asked me to draw Michelle Obama. Nobody asked me to do it. And,
Will you draw Michelle Obama?
It's too late now. It wouldn't make a difference if I did. Dead City, City of Venus by Vinny Tartamel. The link is in the description. Vinny, don't worry, I put it in there. Vinny's just like $700 or so, a little less than $700 away from reaching his flexible goal. If you guys like that book and like this book, like the way it looks, want to enjoy a fantasy about a woman who doesn't know she has the power to save the world. So it's the opposite of Captain Marvel, I would say.
Exactly.
See, that's so fucking annoying. You know what I mean? It's like I'm everything. I'm awesome. No, you're not. You're annoying. This is the opposite of that. This is like a woman who so much is invested in her, so much is imbued in her, so much power and potential, and she's not irritating about it. She's a good girl. And look at those thighs.
Yeah,
that's thick, Vinny.
It's very nice thigh.
Very nice.
I love the ladies. Oh, and if you do get the second tier, I have my 52-page art book in there, full color. You get to see pinup stuff, monsters, superhero, portrait work, but good portrait stuff. Nothing political at all, just so you know.
That's what I like. All right, so I want to talk to my friend Ben Hennessy, who's here. Ben, how are you?
Good, man. Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Ben, what are you promoting tonight?
Well, we have our second book out, Offworlder. That's up right now, offworldercomic.com. It's a sci-fi epic. It's about a 7th century Scottish lord named Henry Gunn. He gets ripped through space and time by an alien race in order to be a champion to fight an evil alien race known as the Lazarson from conquering all known space.
Yes.
That's the basic premise of it. And then we have another project that's bundled with it that I'm amazingly excited about. It's called Blood in the Jungle. It's Lone Star and Ravage crossover that Mike Miller let us do.
All right. Hold on a second here. Ben, first of all, why do I call you Hennessy sometimes and Henderson other times?
It depends on it was a nickname, Hennessy, you get to pick. But it's Henderson is my real last name.
Okay. I'm going to put the link in the description here so people can see it. We're going to look at Offworlder because, Ben has access to really, really great artists, great talent. Everybody wants to work for him right now. They see that he's the future, and they see that he's a way out. He's a way off of the soy-based sinking ship known as Marvel Comics. And people care about that right now.
Yeah.
People do.
Yeah, they do. The best explanation I heard was from Chuck Dixon, and he said, these times it feels like we're all in a jam band, in garage bands, and then you know what I mean. Some night, this pro might come over and jam with us for a little bit, and then other groups will get together, and everybody has fun. And I think that's the best explanation of it.
That's not how I feel at all.
No,
I feel like it's 1962. And Khrushchev went through with his threats, and I'm in a bomb shelter.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. And I'm in my bomb shelter. It's pretty nice. But I took Dwight Eisenhower's advice, and I'm doing my comics in there while other people are burning to death outside all around me. Now, other people who are ComicSGATE, or ComicSGATE adjacent even, may have put themselves in their own bomb shelters, and that's you guys. You guys are surviving alongside of me. But for the rest of the comic book industry, they are literally burning alive and melting all around me. And I'm inside. I'm not laughing, but I'm kind of doing this. I'm going like that. You know what I mean? Ben, let me do that. Let me do that again for you. That's not a laugh. That's it.
I want to hear it.
Like that, like a chuckle, like a chuckle.
Should have built your bomb shelters.
Yeah,
should have built your bomb shelter. Yeah, do they call you from the mainland these days? Your old friends? Say,
yeah. I mean, we've still got, for some reason, we've still got telephone lines up, and or internet, and that's what we're doing now. We're talking to each other, going, it's good. And then I go, hey man, are people screaming and burning outside of your building? And you're like, yeah, they are. And I'm like, and you're like, we're not laughing though. That would be disrespectful. It's just it's like a chuckle. You know what I mean?
Light chuckle.
I'll
Light
be
chuckle.
honest. I mean, I'm working with like the artist here, Jordi Armenthal. He's from Barcelona, Spain. You know, it's really a global community. You know, he's an amazing artist. He works well with us. That's a big deal to me. You know, we can't have a big SJW team. You know, we wouldn't get anything done.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to mesh well together, and he saw the vision I was trying to lay out. And, you know, this is based on a story I had years ago. And then I rewrote it into a comic book script. And then I handed that over to I was lucky enough to hand that over to the amazing Mike Barron. And then boom, we have Offworlder.
Love it. This looks great. Everybody thinks it looks great, except for Adam Post. You know, he doesn't like it.
Stunning.
You know, it's okay, you know, to each their own. I mean, maybe he was abducted by aliens.
No,
Adam Post, explain yourself. Why do you hate this book so much?
I hate that I was not able to seduce Mike Barron to my sexy side so that he'd work for me.
Oh, that's true.
I know Mike Barron, not super well, but we're Facebook buddies.
Mhm.
But I did ask him if he wanted to work on something about 6 months or a year ago. He's like, "Yeah, I got it. That's all right. Thanks, Adam. That's all right."
That's son of a bitch.
I know, but that's because he's got this going with Ben and Chuck.
He's working with Ben.
How do you compete with that? So the
You
artist,
should have told him you were Billy Tucci.
hey, I'm Billy Tucci. You got one option. You
That
work
would have
with
worked.
it or you
I
work
think
with
there's a ventriloquist act happening. Billy's gonna pop up soon.
That is really great art, though. That is really great.
Yeah, Ben Hendernessy is utterly killing it right now. Obviously, this is a fantastic looking comic.
It looks great.
It's beautiful.
What is this? Oh,
So
it's a pinup by Massimiliano Veltri.
Yes, from Italy.
Massimiliano.
Another amazing artist.
Massimiano.
I like that. I like the way you pronounce it. It makes me want to eat something. Say that again.
Massimiano.
I'll have 2
Yeah.
and another bottle of wine. That sounds
Extra
great.
garlic.
Yeah.
Italian artist.
So you're making off-worlder coins, it looks like? And
Yeah. Yes, just like the Cautionary Comics coin. And we're also doing the metal covers again, which are really a metal print as a comic book cover.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. People are doing some good stuff. What the oh, it's Mike.
He is my legendary artist. So last cover was Graham Nolan. This cover is the amazing Mike Miller. And I got to sit in on a live stream with him while he was actually making the cover, which meant a ton to me, just to be able to see it come to life like that. Then he went further and he's allowing me and really not me. The guy on point is Edwin Boyette with Blood in the Jungle.
Yeah.
He's a lot of his military expertise to bear. He's a natural storyteller. It's just been a blast working with him too. And I'm very fortunate that I'm just happy that this will be the first comic that he's done will be released through Cautionary.
Well, congratulations to you and him. This is his face when he thought Bitcoin was going to get to $25,000. But then I had to show him this today. This was important. Bitcoin price clings to $11,000 as analysts prepare for 40% price correction. 40% price correction. As we see here, data from Coins 360 shows Bitcoin has lost its grip on the $11,000 mark as of press time, trading at around $10,950, having gone as low as $10,680. Conditions remain volatile this week, with last week's peak of $13,800 still unchallenged. We're not beating that. We're not beating that, Mike. Now attention is turning to a long-term retracement, which one analyst claims could bring Bitcoin down to just $6,600. And I told Mike,
not just I had 50 Bitcoins. I bought at 25 cents and I sold them at $200.
Oh, that's
nice.
I
thought it was a lot. I was like 25 cents for these on 200. So I rolled them out and who knows? You're right. It could be a gamble, but it could be a huge win if everybody goes with cryptocurrency.
Well, everyone has to just encourage each other to do it. I mean, that's the key. Now, I told Mike that I would profit from his failure. Now, when Mike's investment has bottomed out and cryptocurrency, his Bitcoin has bottomed out at $3,000, which it's gonna do. I will buy in because I've looked at the long-term behavior of Bitcoin, and this is what it does. It gets up to 12,000, then it plummets to 3,000. It gets up to 12,000, gets everyone excited, and then it plummets to 3,000. So I will absolutely buy in at 3,000. I watched it do it 3 times in the past year. I will absolutely buy in at $3,000 and sell at 10,000. I'm not even going to wait till it gets to 12,000. I will sell. Now I told Mike to do this. He said, he said, that's just because you don't know what you're talking about. I said, Mike, I mean, I don't
like that person.
That's his laugh. I said, Mike, you're right. I don't always know what I'm talking about, but I have, I'm okay. I'm pretty sure that, like, this is something that goes on all the time with Bitcoin. I don't think it's going to go up to, I could be wrong. But in any case, this is where we're at today. And Mike did yell at me. I showed him this. He said, look at it. It says 40% price correction. He said, that's still $8,000. That's more than you told me to sell it at. No, it says here $6,600, which is say goodbye, Eden, to your money. That's all I'm saying. All of Mike's money is going away unless he sells right now. It's at $10,000. It's going to drop. Look at where it's at right now. $10,890. Sell. Would you sell?
Yeah,
I would sell.
I mean, why not?
How much money did
What would you do?
went
See, we have to
into
take advice from our uncle.
I could be completely wrong. I don't know. I just like to mess with Mike. All right, so here we go. CyberFrog. CyberFrog this is it. This is it for CyberFrog. Not this one. A lot of people in the chat are asking me, are you going to close out CyberFrog Bloodhoney, the team cover? No, I see no need. I see no need to right now because I want to keep it open for another like 3 weeks or so. Then I'll promote it. Don't worry. I mean, I don't really promote CyberFrog Bloodhoney every day, but I should be. I'll promote it. I want to get it to 225 or something like that and just leave it where it's at, nice round number. I don't know if we're going to get to 1 million. We might. If I do some black and white version of the book, I think we can get to 1 million.
Yeah.
I just see these smug ass SJWs. You know what I mean? I just want to, this is the whole thing. I mean, if you guys can find yourselves in a position where you are actively working to promote and sell your comic book out of love and simultaneous spite, you are going to find yourselves empowered.
winning.
Winning. I love CyberFrog. I love CyberFrog. I love people who back CyberFrog. If you've backed CyberFrog, I love you. I love you. In a Fabio kind of way. Like, seriously, pack a bikini and a toothbrush, or we're heading to the Bahamas. I mean, that's
shirtless on a horse.
Yeah. Now, but on the other hand, we have soy-based individuals, crazy, hateful weirdos, who honestly, and Ben, you've been here since the beginning. Yeah. You've seen this happen. These people, they think ComicSGATE. They think ComicSGATE rises and falls on CyberFrog's success, and they're actively waiting for this book to come out. And their whole thing is, when this book comes out, we're going to get all of our media partners to give it bad reviews, and then we'll show them. All right. Look.
Yeah. You know how you'll hit that million? What everybody's asking for is an artist edition, like an 11 by 7.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Black and white.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking of. That's honestly, that's kind of in my head right now. I'm thinking about doing a black and white book because, I mean, we're about $150,000, maybe $140,000 away from hitting $1 million.
Wow.
And that's something that you want to get to. And then Earthworm Jim's right behind it. I mean, if we could get Earthworm Jim over $1 million too.
Yeah.
Just keep hitting it. Whenever we find these, campaigns that have energy behind them, just boom, 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 encourage people. Not everybody's going to be able to do this. But then again, you have books like, Monster M.D. That is certainly going to, it has the energy and the momentum. 36,000. By the way, next person who backs this is going to push this to 37,000.
Yep.
The energy and momentum to get up to perhaps 6 figures. We want campaigns like this. Shinobi Sasquatch right now, another campaign that even though it's just in demand, Cal, I'm sorry. Like I should have gotten a hold of you while you were still funding.
No worries, man.
Okay, we can still do get this moving while it's in demand. But $34,660, these campaigns are big, and these are enviable successes for SJWs. 19,000. Did you see that, Eric Weather?
Boom!
Yes, I did.
Congrats.
Boom.
I just looked on the comics on the Indiegogo Explorer, and you're number 3, Eric. You're number 3 on Explorer right now.
All right.
So yeah,
thank you,
Fantastic.
everybody, for real. Well, now we're less than $1,000 away from those postcards. I mean,
You're going to hit that $20,000 goal. You might even do it tonight. Flying Fortress Remastered. I'm going to keep going. If you guys want to drop out at any time, like I got to go, Ethan. Seriously, I'm saying I have a family. I got to eat dinner. You go ahead and do that. I'm going to keep going for a little while.
Okay.
So Flying Fortress, look, this is going to get to 20,000 tonight. College of the Dead, we got to get this moving. I mean, this book is, we've got to give some promotion to this, get it to meet its goal. City of Venus, everyone loves Vinny T. Everyone loves Vinny T.
Thank you, guys.
He's up to $1,910 right now. Not too far away. I mean, pretty close to his flexible goal of 2,500. We can get him way past that. He's still got 51 days left. So as people see our success, you're going to do it. We're going to get you there.
Yeah.
So as people see our success, our enviable success, and by the way, this is a book that I'm tracking as well. We don't have Chris in here right now, do we? Is Chris in here?
I don't believe so.
Chris is Iron Skies, by the way. Dynamite comic. I didn't really put it in the description because Chris didn't show up, but I love the way this book looks. It looks fantastic. And why he's not getting the love that I think he deserves. 7 days left. He hasn't hit his $10,000 goal yet. Every time I look at it, well, he blows up a little bit every now and then. Iron Skies is a great looking comic. You know what I think it is? I'm going to be critical about his campaign here. This is what people see. This means nothing. You see this Iron Skies logo?
Yeah.
What the hell is it? You know what I mean? Like that could
almost be a toy line, or
it could be a pair of roller skates. You don't know what it is. I mean, if you replace that, take that out and put this there instead. Iron Skies. This is a comic book, and this is what it looks like. Now you put that in there instead, and you're talking. You put something with like more art in it. This to let people see what it is. This they're going to be more likely to back his comic. I told this to Andrew Huerta. Andrew Huerta had for his comic book Sovereign, and for most of his campaign, he had like a kind of a character's head right up here, and then the rest of it was orange fire. And I was just like, he's like, I don't know why I'm not moving really. I'm like, well, your art's great. The problem is that people make snap judgments when they scroll through these campaigns. It's like, am I going to look further, or this doesn't interest me? So you see something like that logo and you go, I don't know if I'm going to look or not. But I told Andrew, just replace that with just a full body shot of one of your kick-ass awesome characters, and his campaign started moving. Mm-hmm. People. First of all, a couple of things. People are very smart, but people are lazy. And people do not want to investigate. They don't want to spend too much time looking at your campaign and trying to figure out what's what. Just let them have it right away. Talk to them like you're selling something. If you're going to sell a delicious pie, you know what I mean, Adam?
Monster M.D. is perfect.
Well, no, Monster M.D. is perfect, but I'm just saying, if you're going to sell a delicious pie and your pie's delicious, do you put it in a big crate and write pie on the top of it? Or
packaging is everything. It's got to be subtle, and you want to resonate with people, ideally on a there's conscious level where they have to think about understanding what something is. Then there's an unconscious level where just boom, they resonate, they understand what it is, and they're drawn to it.
Just show them, Adam. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, just show them. You don't make them guess. Mm-hmm. Don't say this is Iron Skies. I know what it is. You want to find out. Show them what it is.
You know what happens as a creator? Sometimes you look at like your logo, like, hey, I do love my logo. My logo come out great. I got a lot of help from great people. Put together a beautiful logo. But that's not appropriate for presenting
something new, something that people don't know.
They don't know what the logo is like. Oh, I could kind of see what this sort of. It's like, no, of course you're right. You have a lot of background in marketing and layout and design and development and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
you give people great advice. I mean, I see it constantly. I've been watching ComicArtistPro Secrets for at least a year, a little way into CyberFrog, and you give everybody heartfelt advice, and you just share everything you know, and they either listen or they don't.
They either listen and succeed, or they don't and they fail. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
Mike's in the chat room.
No offense to Theme G, but that was kind of the concept of Theme G. I looked at it as a publisher. I was having a hard time understanding what it was.
Right.
I would have, one of the books, like you get it, but 3 books just to save on shipping. It's like, it's not about the books. It's about wanting to connect with the talent.
Yeah.
And you want to spend money to connect with the talent. So it is how the presentation. The reason I reference Monster M.D. is just like, if you look at how it's presented, it's perfect. If you look at how Vaughn presents himself, he's perfect. I mean, you just get
perfect.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is the energy of it is a perfect ComicSGATE campaign. You don't start from a blank page and wind up with a perfect campaign. You do the best you can, and sometimes it comes together. Your next project might be awful. This one happens to have magic, and that's why it works so well.
I hope Vaughn's next campaign, his next project, is Monster M.D. Part 2. I mean that
it is in the works. It is in the works.
You got to hit. You might as well keep going with it.
Expand the universe with Monster M.D.
People are asking questions. They want to know. I'm going to tell them.
All right, so let me poke back in on Ben Hennessy's brilliant off-worlder, the Protectors of Sara, really quick. He's looking for $30,000. We got to get Ben to his goal. Ben is, look at that. We helped him out a little bit. He's at 9440. Ben is old school ComicSGATE. Let me explain what ComicSGATE is from my point of view. We've got people arguing with me about what ComicSGATE is and what it means. And it's really troubling to me because it just seems like, ComicSGATE grew out of a couple of impetuses that, kind of directed and informed what ComicSGATE would become, what the movement meant to be. Initially, it happened because Marvel Comics was, first of all of their creative people were treating their customers like pure garbage on the internet, saying things to them like, I don't want you to buy my book. You don't want to buy my book. You don't like my politics. Here's an answer. Don't buy my book. Okay. If you don't like my politics, don't buy my comic. Problem solved. All right. That's bullshit. And then they would call people Nazis. They would abuse the fans on Twitter. This is not a good practice for ComicSgaters. If I know it's tough because I'm finding out there are genuine a-holes on Twitter that just live to bother you. I mean, so it really is. It's a discipline, but you got to try not to treat potential customers like shit, and that's it's this. The Marvel Comics method of catching a wide array of customers in a net of Nazi accusations and bullshit. But more importantly, just try to keep it to yourself. Just try to keep a good sense of humor about what's going on around you. It is the internet. The second thing is keep divisive ideas and politics out of your comic books as much as possible, because ultimately the goal is to sell comics. That's the goal. Now, some people agree with that and some people don't. Some people say, well, really, I'm here to do political comics to fight back. Okay. And that's fine. Go do that. And other people say, no, I want to use my platform to talk about this or that, to instruct people, to teach people about my religion or about this or that. That's fine too. That's also really not ComicSGATE. That's not what ComicSGATE is. The whole purpose of ComicSGATE, from my perspective, is to do fun, escapist entertainment.
Yes.
Escapism.
Escapism.
Exactly.
Whole point.
Great word.
So if you are doing comics that preach your religion, if you're doing comics that preach your politics in some way, if you're doing comics that are meant to make someone feel like they are wrong as they're reading them, because that's what SJWs do. Their whole entire purpose is to make you feel like no matter where you go, they want to tell you that you're wrong and you can't get away from them. It's like you being around SJWs sucks. The idea of having to pay to listen to SJWs heckle you is intolerable. And this is the whole underpinning of ComicSGATE. Now, I'm not saying that talking about right-wing politics is SJW or religion or anything like that, but it is still the same principle. There are going to be people who disagree and really just wanted to read your book about a frog.
Yeah.
That's it. So that's what I think ComicSgate is. Now, Ben Hennessy has been old school ComicSgate. He's been there since the beginning. He believes in these things. He's got a comic book called Offworlder, The Protectors of, is it Sarah?
Ra, yeah, she's Egyptian, an Egyptian goddess. It connects with an ancient bloodline that connects all of these characters together. But I wanted to say one thing about what you're saying, not just pushing that on us, but pushing that kind of politics or ideology on our kids, right? I mean, myself, what really drove me to it was, I look forward, like my father did. I looked forward with my oldest son to sharing these, new stories, maybe a new character he'd love, and we'd bond, through that and go to conventions. But it just started going downhill, the conventions, the quality of the comics, and even he felt preached to. I always tell people, even if you agree with it, you don't want to be preached to, right? So with that said, I'm releasing my first, after Offworlder, and on 4th of July, we're releasing a cautionary tales, kids-friendly line with its own toy. So, I said I wanted to do something for my kids. The ones that I've been doing have been mature readers because I felt that would make more of a splash, like Ravage, Kill All Men, and Offworlder, a big sci-fi epic. But the next one will be given back to kids and families. So, I think that was a big push.
That is great. I'm doing something similar actually too. Around Halloween or a little bit before, I'm going to be releasing a kid's book as well.
It's awesome, man. I mean,
cool. Hell yeah,
awesome.
So I'm proud.
You got to make it fun.
Here, everybody's producing fun comics that are entertaining, and everybody here is producing comics that I think are interesting and exciting. And this is the thing. I mean, again, people can agree with me or disagree with me about what I think ComicSgate is, but those are my ideas, and I think they work. I think put in practice, I think they will always work, and they will always attract the most number of customers possible. So I appreciate you guys. Now, back to me and what I'm doing here tonight. This is the end of CyberFrog Vampirella. CyberFrog Vampirella is a variant cover. This is very exciting. I mean, this is let me see where we're at now. It's not, we have less than 12 hours. We have 8 hours left. CyberFrog Vampirella was an opportunity handed to me by Dynamite Comics. And they said, yeah, you know what? Like, yeah, we see what you're doing. We dig it. You want to have CyberFrog interacting with Vampirella. You can do a comic book cover, like a retailer variant cover. And you can do as many as you want. By the way, if I want to do another one of these, I will. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing a cover for Vampirella #1 at this point. Like, we're awesome. Me and Dynamite are kind of getting along, because we're making each other money, which is what comics should be about. It should be about, just people
make that cash,
seeking to make money, not really seeking to exclude one another, not really seeking to do anything else. Just be profitable, make fun comics. So
it's a beautiful thing using capitalism to take out a bunch of SJW kind of commie types.
Oh, totally.
It really is.
It beats using milkshakes.
I love it.
Let's make them so mad.
Our comics bring everyone to the yard.
What are milkshakes? What? So wait a second. Were milkshakes always a symbol of SJWism? Is that why the original Milkshake Girls photo happened? Because it was
no. Over the course of the last year or so, there have been some incidents where someone threw a milkshake at popular politicians, I believe in England, and it was, of course, celebrated on social media. And now they're making it a mainstay, artillery that they bring to attack anyone they disagree with.
But why milkshakes?
I think the first incident was just a random, person passing by who threw their milkshake at a politician they didn't like. And then they all celebrated that. And now it's become, a symbol of them rebelling, whatever.
I think the second guy they got was Nigel Farage in the UK.
Oh, shameful. These people have to be just stopped.
Yeah, and then Matt Gaetz in Florida.
Yeah.
And now they're using ice cream. Just abuse.
And then this Andy Ngo. How do you pronounce his name? Andy Yo?
I think it's no. I think it's just Andy No.
Yeah, F these people. Well, let me just say it. Fuck these animals. I mean, this is the thing. We right now we live in a society where SJWs and far left wing far left-wing activists. I'm not talking about you liberals in my audience. Love you guys, disagree with you, but love you. I'm talking about these far left-wingers, ththese crazy SJWs who have ruined the comic book industry. These same individuals put on masks, call themselves Antifa, and hit innocent people with bike locks and crack their heads open and douse them with milkshakes and try to humiliate them. As these people lose their power and we gain control back of society, responsible people are gaining control of society again and of business and industry. You watch what the small effect, the small comic book industry, you watch the effect that we are having. Nobody talks about anything else. How many people are out there talking about War of the fucking Realms? How many people are out there talking about this shit that Marvel and DC are doing? Very, very few people. ComicSgate is everything. We are everything right now. ComicSgate is the one single topic of discussion that everyone talks about. People get passionate about. People either love us or they hate us. But we are the center of attention right now. If you are part of ComicSgate right now, if you are, devoted to it, if you are, putting all of your energy into creating great comics and saying, I am ComicSgate, can't stand you idiots to throw milkshakes at people, support it. You idiots are making the pop culture entertainment for the next generation. You're supposed to be entertaining our kids. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here. All of you purple-haired, soy-boyed, problem-spectacled weirdos, get the fuck out of my entertainment.
Preach.
Get out of pop culture. We right now, ComicSgate is bigger than ever. It continues to grow. We see it all around us. We see Monster M.D. We see College of the Dead. We see Shinobi Sasquatch, Iron Skies, City of Venus, Offworlder, Flying Fortress. All of these comics and many, many more. I can't do everything myself. I can't promote every comic. I just choose a handful that I think are great, and I want to see them succeed, and I wish everyone luck. But ComicSgate is growing as a movement, and it can't be stopped. And even as we disagree, even as some people disagree with me and are wrong, but it's okay. That's okay. It's still, the movement is growing. It's the same activist spirit to actually change comics and bring them back to a state of prosperity again. And you can't stop us. You've been trying for 2 years. You fucking can't stop us. We get bigger and bigger and more powerful, more dominant. And now, eventually and inevitably, the mainstream is going to bend the knee to us. And they're going to start. So this is what this says. Now, I'm not saying Dynamite is bending the knee. Dynamite is simply saying, can you think you can sell these? You're selling so many comics. Yeah. Well, because we have... This is what we do. We sell comic books. This is what we devote our lives to. It isn't about politics. We're not online screaming at each other, and we shouldn't be. But we're not online complaining about this and that in the news. We're talking about our comics. We're promoting each other. This is the spirit of ComicSgate. This is what I tell these guys in private. I'm like, get out there, be positive about ComicSgate. Promote each other's comics, not just your own. Do promote your own. But promote each other and create a kind of brotherhood.
Absolutely.
Oh, hell yes. This is amazing. I've always grown up reading about all these art circles where people supported each other and ended up creating something great and new because they were frustrated with the way things were, what the mainstream was. And I get to be a part of that. And it's such an honor. And I love helping out every comic skater I can. I've tried to help you all with all of your books, give you all the best advice I can, because I want to see you succeed too, because I see each one of our books as an artillery shell that is being fired off to hit an industry that has bubbled itself into this world of insanity and irrational, thinking. And we just got to keep banging away until it finally pops.
A 500-pound bomb dropped in 2017, perhaps.
And it will work. And I'll tell you guys something just from having published comic books, like back in the 1980s, publishing in the 90s. And it always, whatever the hot thing is, it always starts small. If you look at like the Ninja Turtles, the Ninja Turtles is black and white independent book. That was the black and white boom, as they call it. And I actually published one book during the black and white boom when I was a kid. It's like 16. But long story short is like it took off like crazy, and comic shops multiplied, the industry multiplied and got bigger. Now it's all direct to consumer. So the hot thing in comics now is ComicSgate, and it's direct to consumer. And ComicSgate is the leverage point for direct to consumer, getting directly to the fans, taking it to the fans. The fans don't like it; they don't have to buy it, but they like it. Except, Billy Tucci, you got to buy it no matter what.
Guys, quality is key. Quality is, of course, people are saying in the chat, obviously, well, I mean, everybody that I picked that I'm promoting, it goes without saying. I don't really, I hate to be like this, but if you're not on my show and I've seen your work, you're not quite there yet. Keep cranking on it. Keep cranking. You're going to get there eventually. These guys are there. These guys are professional quality. These guys are the best of the best. These guys should be working at Marvel, DC, Image, et cetera, but fortunately, they're here. They figured it out already. Independent comics are the future. It's the way to go.
There's no reason to work with those other guys right now. This is where it's at. This is the scene right now.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. You don't need to be policed and all that crap. We get to create fun books the way we want to do them, and the fans let us know if they love it.
Yes.
That's it.
Amen.
Absolutely. So this is the thing, guys. I hope you guys will support. I hope you guys support these comics. I hope that you do. I don't know why in this day and age people want to give money, actual money, on a regular basis to people who hate them. And this is what we've seen. We've just seen Marvel and DC creators engage in hateful attitudes. When you tell them, look, stop ruining the thing that I enjoy, they call you names. They call you Nazis. This week we've had a couple of interesting things happen. One of them is Cena Grace. Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
Wow. Cena Grace, who's gay. He's writing a book. First of all, Marvel Comics decided, look, we need to. Does anybody here want a GLAAD award? I want to be handed a GLAAD award by gays at a gay rights award ceremony. So let's make one of our characters gay. How about Iceman? He's always seemed kind of gay. All right, so Iceman is now gay. That's fine. And the thing about it is that they can't just say Iceman is gay and therefore let's get Chuck Dixon to write Iceman, because surely Chuck Dixon could write a gay Iceman. Chuck Dixon could write the gayest Iceman in the world.
It would be a great story.
Of course, and they don't go to Chuck Dixon.
Nope.
They have to find an actual gay guy to write Iceman, and that's what they do. They find this guy Cena Grace, and I mean, this is like, it's so humiliating. It's the same thing with Christopher Priest coming out and saying, look, why are you guys? I've been writing for 40 years. Why only now are you guys letting me write black characters because I'm black?
Yeah.
Why am I on Black Panther? Why are you putting me on Bishop? Why are you putting me on Black Cat? What is going on exactly?
Isn't it like reverse racism?
No, it's just fucking racism. Reverse racism equals not racist. It's just racism. They see him for the color of his skin, and they put him on black characters because they think that's what he should be writing. And by the way, if a white guy in this day and age was writing Black Panther, they would say, that's not right. Wait a second. Yeah, he has no black experience. Get him off of there. So this is how SJWs are ruining shit. Now, Cena Grace, of course, is at a point right now where he's realized the whole time he was writing Iceman, Marvel just used him for a virtue signal. We got a gay guy writing our gay character. Where's our GLAAD award? Where's our GLAAD award? You didn't fucking get one. But what you did get was you got Cena Grace receiving abuse. Like, this shit sucks. This is awful. This comic sucks. It got low sales. He went out and this guy thinks getting an article in the New York Times is how to sell comics. It isn't. All right, that's just not how to sell any comics. And then Marvel Comics, he went to him. He said, "These people think I'm a diversity hire. Could you give me another comic besides Iceman? I could write 2 comics a month. Just give me Wolverine. Give me something like that." And they went, "Hey, we'll let you know. We'll keep it."
Jesus.
And now that the book was canceled, it was brought back because Marvel got called homophobes for canceling their gay character. Okay, we'll bring it back. We'll try it again. Cena, bring it back. It gets canceled again. And by the way, Cena butched it up for the second run of Iceman. Like it was actually getting pretty good, but canceled again for low sales. And Cena is just left out there in the wilderness going, I don't know why this happened. You would know why it happened if you listen to. I'm sorry, I'm yelling, guys.
It's all right. We're like the pack.
You would know why it happened if you opened your ear, shut your mouth, open your ears, and listen to your boy Zach on Diversity in Comics. He was telling you the whole time, you are a purse puppy. You exist entirely as a fashion object for these idiots, these fat weirdos at Marvel Comics. Fat, white SJW males with their cutesy little assistant editor girlfriends that they hired as work girlfriends. You are just another one of those purse puppies, and now you're in the purse puppy pound. That's what happens to purse puppies when they cancel all your comics. You go right to the purse puppy kennel, the purse puppy pound, and you go, what happened? You outlived your usefulness. You got used by a bunch of weirdo SJWs who never respected your talent. They just needed people to think that they were woke. That is the situation right now. That's what's going on. Why? Why give money to these people? Why give them a dime of your money when you have actual passionate creators sitting here right now who respect you and are trying to do good comics for you, who are trying to entertain you, and who are on this live stream right now, trying
right here
to bewilder you.
It's about telling great stories and great characters, not just flip-flopping things. Like you take a character that's been established for all these years, and then you're just going to change something like that and hope that people are going to buy it. No, it's ridiculous. Like you said, they're trying to get an award. They're not trying to do anything else. They want to appease Hollywood or something else. They're ridiculous.
They just want to be. They want a picture of themselves receiving an award, and I'm telling you that they brag about Eisner Awards at this point. How can you worry about the Eisner Awards? They give Eisner Awards to books that sold 12 copies. This is not a path to success. It's just SJWs acknowledging other SJWs, and then you wonder where the money is.
Yeah, and they drag the good name of Eisner down with it too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And pass it around, and make it something. They
So, I just I really want I want you guys to understand. I want you guys to understand what ComicSgate is a reaction to. In case you need a reminder, it hasn't gotten better; it's gotten worse. But the one thing that's happening that is fun is that we're seeing that some of these SJWs are coming forward now. The ones that were abused, that were actually, well, they use each other. Let's be honest; these people use each other. Where the hell is Gabby Rivera? I want your confessional, Gabby. Gabby, I need your autobiography. I need you to come forward and tell the story of what happened to you at Marvel Comics, because everybody is dying to know. Cannot wait to find out Gabby's story. Oh yeah. You're overweight lesbian Latina. Well, we need you to write a book about a lesbian Latina. These people are ridiculous. American Chavez, one of the worst comic books of all time. Literally anybody could have written that comic book. And when Zach's secret people over at Marvel Comics were sending him little info about it, they were saying things to him like, yeah, we know nobody reads that book. Everyone here knows that book is shit. It's not about putting out a good comic book and trying to get your money based on hard work. It's not about that. It's about you looking at these people at this point, them using this platform that was built by Stan Lee, who, by the way, they abused in the last few years of his life.
It's sad.
Beat the hell out of him, called him a rapist, stole his blood, made him go from convention to convention, signing all day long. This old man didn't want to do that. Just destroyed him. They're using this platform essentially just to get you to say, oh my God, you guys are so woke. What heroes. What incredible heroes that you would hire. A lesbian Latina chick to write a lesbian Latina character. So woke. Sells 800 copies. Gets canceled. I want to know. I want to know what she has to say for herself. Boeg, thanks for 200 pesos. Uncle E, please make yearly comics award show. I will. I'll do that.
Oh, it's a great idea.
That's cool.
I did that. You know what? I was with my friend to do an award presentation. This is when the mainstream still liked me. Now they hate me. They would never let me do this. But I did an award show where I was a presenter. And I came up right before a particular classic SJW Batman artist who presented the first award. And there's video of this. If you go on YouTube, you can find it. It was in Detroit, Michigan. I don't remember what the awards were called. But he gets up there and he's just like, well, I've got to give this award out to Best Artist of the Year. He's like, I've never received an award like this, but that's okay because I don't value awards. And then you present the awards to the person.
Wow.
I was like,
wow. Classy.
So I got up there and said, I have been given, unlike my peer over there sitting there, I have been given a few awards, not too many, and I valued every single one of them. Every single one of them, because it was people telling me I did a good job at what I set out to do.
I think you pulled your shirt off. You had soy bomb written on your chest.
Yes. That was like, by the way, and here I am to dance for you as Soy Bomb. By the way. I don't know. How can you not love CyberFrog? What a great premise. It's all about the Vespas. It's all about the Vespas deciding that the world, planet Earth has been overtaken by enough soy. Feel free to swoop in and do your thing. All right, let me run through the campaigns and just see how we're doing. Flying Fortress Remastered is at 9th. Let me refresh this. This is Eric Weathers, who is the letterer of ComicSGATE.
That's me.
Yeah, Eric, what is Flying Fortress about?
A top-tier B-17 crew on a secret mission to bomb Hitler are shot down and crash land in the Middle Ages. That's the quick and dirty pitch of it. They uncover this plot by a group known as the Infinite Reich. They are the leader of this group has control over this small castle world, but you maybe you learn a little bit more. Maybe that's not all he has control of. He has this alien technology that he found in like 1936 that he's been toying with, and sort of underground has been using this to build an army that doesn't need just Earth Prime. It doesn't need just Hitler's plans. It's way more vast. And our crew, they crash land there sort of by happenstance, and they have to figure out, hey, what's going on here? And they got to stop it. They got to do what they can to stop it.
Fantastic. We got 1,005 people watching right now. Those of you who haven't yet backed Eric Weathers' Flying Fortress Remastered, now's the time. 200 pages of awesome time travel fun.
200 pages, and it's pretty much done. The artwork's been done for a while, and I'm just going through fixing some things and relettering it. So it'll be ready to go and in your hands very soon.
Peace. Love it. Kate Brady, thanks for $4.99, says, hey, Ethan, can I have an Eisner? I don't create anything, but it would look great in my office. Thanks for your help. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
They're giving them away to people who don't deserve them. Watermelon Platypus said Eisner Awards are the new Nobel Peace Prize. Oh, so goddamn true. Wow. 60s. Thank you for $100. Says I wanted to help you for your maintenance. Wow. Thank you so much. That's going to help. Appreciate you. Cecil says $2. America started ComicSGATE. Gabby is the godmother of ComicSGATE. Yeah, she really helped. I mean, she kind of proved the point. I don't know if she started it. I would almost go back to Gail Simone. I think Gail, Women in Refrigerators started ComicSGATE.
Yeah.
Yellow Flash 2 says, you skipped my super chat. Yellow Flash, I would never do that. Let me scroll back and just see if I can catch it. Yellow Flash 2's in the audience. Watermelon Platypus said ComicSGATE lived. And all right, hold on a second. Let me just grab a couple more super chats that I missed, and then we'll get right back to running through everybody's books. By the way, thank you guys. Every time I click on these comics, it seems like they move forward. Everyone is backing them. This is it. This is what you can do. What is the answer to how do we fight back? How do we fight back against SJWs? You support independent comics.
Yes.
Yellow Flash 2 says War of the Realms is trash. Don't even pirate it. I trust you, Yellow Flash.
You can pirate
it.
Avert your eyes if you happen to glance near it. It's that bad.
Oh. Cecil says Ben's Bitcoin would be worth $2 million today.
Oh, stop.
It's true. But like 3 days later, it would be worth like $3,000. See, that's the thing. You got to sell at the right point. Zaid Comics says, since everyone's being disrespectful and not asking EVS to do a cover for them, I will step up and ask you to do a variant for my Comic Magic Cop. Zaid Comics, I have a price. Absolutely. Hit me up. I'll probably do a cover for you. I love you guys. Let's see. Jason Pirtle says, if any of you guys get to 6 figures, hopefully you don't turn out to be a tapeworm. All right. That's a pointed comment there. Sweens. Hey, Sweens. We got to get Sweens on here. He's got a book called Oddity, which is
yeah,
that looks awesome.
He says, here's some money to help save the frogs. Sweens, let me see if I can because your book is good enough. I really like your book. I would like to promote it if you don't
That's
mind.
so awesome to hear.
Yeah, I think he's great. And by the way, I'm going to do a cover with him. I mentioned it. I want to draw CyberFrog. He's going to draw Oddity next to CyberFrog. It'll be kind of a jam cover.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's so cool, man.
Let's see. Eric, give us Emperor Palpatine, says Vasan Kasai.
Wait, hang on. Let me turn my camera over here, and I do this. Here we go. Do it. Like, my first little dry. Hold on. Let me wet the whistle.
Do it again.
Now witness the excuse me. Now witness the full firepower. The firepower of this fully armed and operational battle station.
Let's see.
At will, Commander.
Logan Michael Anti-Funko Pop says pops are gay. They are. Amateur Ant says you got to bang your woman Froggy style. Logan Michael Anti-Funko Pop say pops are mega gay. Filter Frog says thanks for the frog log. Let's see. All right, so I think we're caught up. I think we're caught up when we get back to this. But
one more. Tug wants this. Hey there.
Hey there.
Nice.
Hey there.
Do you love that umbrella guy? I can't do it. You're thinking of all of his videos. Matt C says, check out Kyer. Oh, everybody, you gotta stop having weird sounding Indiegogo campaigns. Kyire. Kyire. That sounds like you're mad at your lubricant. Kwire on Indiegogo and Intron today. It's too hard. It's too hard for me. You know, it's hard to pronounce these things. All right, let me get back to these the run through here, and let's look at what people are doing. All right. All right, so we looked at Flying Fortress Remastered. Very happy with the fact that it's bumping up there. It's way past its $4,000 goal, but let's get it to 20,000. Iron Skies is a concern of mine, even though Chris isn't here right now. I got to say, this comic looks badass. Thank you for supporting it. We're getting it closer to its $10,000 goal. It's $63,030. Shinobi Sasquatch, book one. Meaning there will be other books in this series.
There sure will.
Yeah. Is at 34,000. I don't know if I refresh it. So $34,715, 708 backers. By the way, guys, the links are all in the description. Just hit the little arrow pointed down. You are going to see a whole series of links to these comics. You can support them. You can buy a copy of these comics. You can have it sent to your house, and you can feel like, hey, I'm supporting independent creators in an industry that's been overtaken and overrun by blue-haired, sometimes purple, sometimes red-haired, problem-spectacled. Why do they all wear glasses? God damn it. Get contacts. Get LASIK surgery. Why are you all wearing big, thick Clark Kent glasses? I don't know what's going on anymore. What happened in the 1980s when people were ashamed of that? You know, it's just like, you look like you're wearing glasses. You look like a nerd. You know, so you're like, oh shit, I better get contacts. In the 1980s, everyone wanted to look. Everyone wanted to have feathered hair. Nobody wanted to have beards because that was creepy. You know, you wanted to look like the dude. You wanted to look like what's his name from Pretty in Pink, the bad guy from Pretty in Pink. He's like, you're a bitch.
Karate Kid.
No, or the Karate Kid. They were the same looking guy.
Right.
James Spader.
James Spader,
yeah.
Or Johnny from the Karate Kid. Ideally, that's who you wanted to look like. And Johnny doesn't have a goddamn beard on his. I mean, I know I do right now, but it's like Johnny doesn't have a gross like beard. He's wearing spectacles. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
talking about.
Pretty sure Johnny beats the hell out of that guy to this day.
Absolutely, I love this.
Zapka is killing it on Cobra Kai. Just FYI.
Oh, well, it's an awesome show.
Dude, I love every season, and they're bringing back Elizabeth's show, and I just can't.
Oh man,
it's gonna be magic.
Nice.
It's
By the way,
best
Tug was
for
looking for the link earlier if you wanted to send it his way.
Oh, what link? The link to Cobra Kai?
No, to the chat. To the
Oh, who wanted the link? Tug? Oh, I didn't know that. Well, would you guys, one of you send Tug the link?
I sent him a DM, so I just don't know if he's seen it yet or not.
Okay, Tug, the link is up. Yeah, I just don't want to unshare and everything. I want to move forward, but I'd love to have Tug in here, and there's plenty of room for him. Shinobi Sasquatch Book 1. Presuming there's going to be more books following this, I hope so. We're getting some support for it. We want to get this up to 35,000 tonight. I think that'd be cool. Maybe even past that. That'd be great. And catch up to Monster M.D., which is just zooming right now. Von Klaus, you've got to be happy with this. 37.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Way to
awesome,
go.
Man.
Thank you.
Hey, Ethan, I got to throw it out there, man. You mentioned selling books partly out of spite.
Yeah.
I had like a kind of like a goal to beat that Deadbeats comic that has the Mags Visaggio story. We Vaughn beat it before I did the other day, but we've both surpassed
Deadbeats. Yeah.
Deadbeats.
Yeah.
That deserves a round of applause.
All right.
How many pros are on that book? I'm just curious. How many pros are on that book?
42. When I say 42, how many SJWs does it take to change a light bulb? Literally 42.
A lot of milkshakes.
I mean, it's absolutely crazy. You have 42 people making a single comic book. Go F yourselves. Stop it. Stop pretending you don't need the money. You clearly do. We see your GoFundMe campaigns. You're all on welfare. You're all starving to death and complaining about medical problems that you can't pay for. Stop.
Right.
Stop doing this. Start making a living. And by the way, those same idiots that say, well, we're not doing it for a profit. Well, clearly you're not you know what? Like, then don't do it. You're wasting your time. That's even more infuriating when people say that they're not working for a profit. Well, your money's got to come from somewhere. So where is it coming from? If you're not independently wealthy, you are wasting your time. You're wasting your adult working time creating shit that nobody wants. Nobody wants it. And then you're going to have to find your money somewhere else, preferably probably from GoFundMe or Ko-Fi or any of those other sites where people beg for sandwiches. Tired of it. Start a profit like Von Klaus has been.
Yes.
Congratulations, Von Klaus. You were at 37,000.
Congrats, man.
$35, 754 backers. This is phenomenal, man. This is great progress.
Yeah, awesome. I cannot wait for you guys to read this because you're going to see all these little horror movie references hidden throughout. You're going to see a lot of homages to horror movie characters that you've loved over the years. This book kind of has it all, so really excited about it.
I love it.
Man.
And I may have been lettering it all day today.
Were you lettering this?
Oh, yeah. I got the man who lettered the world on it, Eric Letters himself.
Wonderful.
Impressive.
Guys, by the way, now I'm completely sober. I mean, all I had was half a bottle of wine, and it's faded now. I don't know how long we've been streaming.
We switched places. I'm pretty buzzed now.
Are you really? I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna just do some Rockstar. I'm gonna get some energy up with a sugar-free Rockstar energy drink, and I'm gonna continue to sober up. My sobriety. I enjoyed being intoxicated. I enjoyed being buzzed while I was yelling about comics, but you know, I do that all the time. I'm not Nick Vercada. I cannot think on my feet like he can while I'm completely sloshed.
Guy has a superpower.
Not everyone can do that, man.
Oh yeah,
it's true.
It's a gift. That's a gift.
It really is.
I wish somebody would give that.
Like Professor X and Cecil's like Magneto when it comes to that.
Absolutely. Raging Goblin says EVS wino. Oh, it's just so. You know, I hardly ever drink. I hardly ever do. But I had a very nice day today, and I decided I was going to have a little wine. And Andrea was like, "No, I'm not going to have any." I was like, "Oh, so I already poured it. All right, I'll drink it."
Drinking a little.
Yeah. All right. So College of the Dead comic book. We want to remind you guys to support this comic. Make it happen. It's at $790 right now. We're moving forward for Adam Post, but not moving forward fast enough. All right. The other goal post. Look, we are a long way from a touchdown. Let's get College of the Dead funded. $5,000 is what we're looking for. We need you guys to support this comic. And let me tell you something. Adam, we talked about this last time.
We did.
We talked about my conspiracy theory about Republicans and Democrats and zombies and vampires.
I think it's been not a theory.
How many of our books have zombies in them. Okay.
Kind of,
Not
yeah.
enough.
Sort of.
Not
Dawn
enough.
of the Dead. Okay, you sort of have them. What about Chernobyl? Zombies?
Well, yeah, sure, maybe.
Okay. Okay, Flying Fortress?
Yeah,
Zombies?
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I have a zombie scene in mind where the main hero gets hoarded by zombies. There you go.
We're on the right track.
Everything. Zombies,
Zombies are still alive and kicking, or well, they're dead
Yeah.
and kicking, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the whole thing about it is that when zombies are popular, the country is in the mood for Republicans to win, and when vampires and UFOs. We'll talk about this a little bit more, Adam.
Yeah.
When I say UFOs, I mean space. I mean aliens. Okay, so it's not just classic flying saucer but on the other hand, you go back to the 1970s and you look at the Carter presidency. You see Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You see Superman. That's an alien coming from the sky. You see Battlestar Galactica. You see Star Wars: A New Hope. All right, that's all outer space shit. All of this stuff coincides for something. Mork and Mindy, for Christ's sake. It even ended up on TV. All of these aliens, all these weirdo aliens. Now, E.T., of course, delayed reaction, but it is that tends to be a democratic mood. And I think E.T. happened because Reagan was shot. That's what I think. These bastards. And I realized the Pet Cemetery, the original Pet Cemetery, came out in the 1980s. It's a zombie movie.
Right.
It was mid-80s.
The more you think about it, the more right I am.
Night of the Living Dead. Well, there was there was so many zombie movies that came out in the 80s. Reanimator was in the 80s.
Reanimator was in the 1980s. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff. We'll go over it a little bit more, but let's go through this real quick. City of Venus, Dead City, and we're at the moment. Vinny T is quietly observing his progress as he works towards $2,500, which is his flexible goal. He's got 51 days left. Vinny, I think you're gonna make it.
Thanks,
okay,
man. Yeah.
I think
I launched it on your stream, so I'm grateful for everything right now. Very happy.
We're happy to have you here. $1,940, guys. Pretty simple. The perks are all here. Why don't you get the signed comic book and the signed art book for $50? That's pretty much everything that you need. This one here, $150. You get a head sketch as well, but they're limited. We don't want to work Vinny too hard. All right, but in the meantime, honestly, this is all you need to do. You need to back this, and if you don't want the sketchbook, just get the comic book. Just get City of Venus #1, $20. That's pretty easy. You want to support Vinny, who is a designer, toy designer, and friend to ComicSGATE, obviously. ComicSGATE.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was an image cover artist as well. Did stuff with Tim Seeley. Actually, I got to work on Reanimator. He did a crossover, and I did one of the covers. So that was pretty cool too.
Over for Dynamite.
I love
it.
J App says the boobs are too small. Go fuck yourself, Vinny. That's not nice. You know what I mean?
What? That was harsh. He should buy the art book. In fact, he should buy the 150 tier. You get 2 art books, and you can see the tits I draw.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, I've looked through the book, and I don't think there's a problem in that area. You see what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So you can say what you want to say, but the facts don't care about your feelings, and neither do these boobies. They're big, and they are. He's drawing beautiful women here, and there's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So support Vinny T.
Curves.
Oh yeah.
If you like thick, you're gonna want this book.
Yeah. City of Venus, Dead City, Vinny Tartamella. Link is in the description. Back this comic. Listen, you guys have the capability to get this comic book backed tonight. You know what I mean? Like, you can get it to its goal. There's enough people in here to make that happen.
That'd be awesome. In fact, I do a stretch goal. If Ethan, if you want to tell me in private what I need to do to get a cover from you, and then we'll go for that goal.
Don't imply that there's something in private we need to talk about to get a cover.
Or if you want to say,
people's imaginations are going to run wild. That's not what.
Well, you said you had a price, so I didn't want to see your price.
Yeah. My price is your soul. It's your soul.
Oh shit.
Off-worlder, the protectors of Sarah, which is the great Ben Hendernessy. Ben, I'm glad you're here, my friend.
Thanks, man. Me too. Thank you for having me and always supporting Cautionary Comics from the beginning, before there was a Cautionary Comics. So thank you very much.
Precautionary.
Precautionary. Oh yeah, big time.
Precaution.
Yeah, this is a fantastic looking comic book.
Yeah.
Good.
And Mike's an amazing writer.
Yeah, Mike Barron. Look at this. This doesn't look like an airplane manual. You know, most of comics today, the artwork looks like airplane, like you know, stuff that tells you how to buckle your seatbelt. And you are producing beautiful artwork that looks like Barry Windsor Smith.
I wanted that 70 exactly. You know, I wanted that vibe with it. You know, that 70s sci-fi. It's you know, it's really, you know, very much like the Silver Surfer, you know, that whole cosmic demigod kind of vibe to it. You know, he starts off as a true leader in the story. You know, he's leading his people, but he ends up having to make a choice. Does he sacrifice himself and what he really wants and what he loves to save his people? And even after he gives it all, he still has more he has to give. So it's a big sci-fi story. If you're into sci-fi, or if you're into you know, the kind of cosmic comics, definitely pick up offworldercomic.com.
Yeah,
you did this with Mike Barron, the guy who created Nexus.
Yes.
It doesn't get more cosmic. Well, you got Jack Kirby and you got Nexus.
Well, let me tell you. So, you know, I'm not saying, but it just touched me. Dixon and Mike is saying that, you know, the stuff that Barron's doing now that we're all working on is the best he's ever done. He's doing a lot with Cautionary. The first one out the gate is Offworlder, but it's just, yeah, he's doing some amazing stuff.
He's a serious talent. He also worked on Punisher. I remember his work on Punisher was fantastic.
Batman.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. It's kick ass. It's Ben Henderson. You know, he's got Ben. You've got some cool ideas. They all strike me as like B movie ideas, like really fast, like cool B movies. That's what your comics are. That's your whole vibe.
It's like Grindhouse, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I really do.
Yeah. So if you love that too, you want to check this out, back this comic, and the link is in the description. Offworlder, the Protectors of Sa-Ra. Ben, I've got some bad news for you.
Hit me.
Brie Larson.
It's already bad news.
Already.
Brie Larson is going to appear in at least 5 more MCU films.
Is there any that anybody's looking forward to? You know, we saw the end of it.
No. El Gargoyle, thanks for $5. I think we need to get together to collect the blood comics and free Stan Lee's soul trapped in those comics. I wonder where there are. I wonder where those comics are. I would like to do that. I thought that they captured them all, but I mean, maybe somebody bought some of them. They were like
how ghoulish to do, you know. And then for Marvel, you know, we were pushing Brie, but you know, they were using Stan Lee's social media, his own avatar, his personal social media after he passed to push this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they arrested that guy. I heard.
Yeah,
like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
they got him. So
for
thank
senior
God.
abuse. He was abusing seniors, including Stan Lee. And F that guy. He looked like a weirdo, man. Why do these guys all look like they've had a ton of plastic surgery? They're all pursing their lips and shit. These weirdos. I take care of Stan Lee. I'm Stan Lee's personal assistant.
They're getting ready for prison. All perked
Oh
up.
my God. Who was that guy that used to be on Howard Stern in the 1980s and 90s who personally took care of, like, was it Ethel Merman or one of these one of these old like songstresses from, you know, old school Hollywood, and like he married her and everything. The guy was clearly gay, you know, and it was just like
yes, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, Liza Minnelli.
No, it wasn't Liza Minnelli.
Right?
No,
it was some guy who was a kind of youngish guy, 30s or something like that, and he married some very, very wealthy, older, famous singer.
Yeah,
and on Stern and be like, "What are you doing with her?"
Mark Harris.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
It's horrible. Yeah. That's the same thing that's going on. That same sensation. Some weirdo clinging, some vampire, some leech, some parasite clinging to old man Stan Lee. Martha Ray was the woman. Martha Ray. These sons of bitches. You know. Yeah. It wasn't Zsa Zsa Gabor, Kevin. It wasn't Zsa Zsa Gabor. It would have been hard. she's dead now, I think. Joshua finally.
Yeah, she passed.
That sucks. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel to appear in at least 5 more MCU films. Look at her here. Will you give me a break? Will you get out of here? Why? Why do we have to put up with you? Can't we? Like, can't people just listen when we say no and then just react? Get out of here.
I'm so happy the Russo brothers didn't like her.
Yeah.
So in Endgame is my favorite when he knocks her out of the movie.
Geek Assault says just back CYBERFROG Vampirella, Monster M.D, Shinobi Sasquatch. Stop creating good books, guys. A brother going broke. LOL. Shout out to ComicArtistPro. We shout right back out to you, Geek Assault, and thank you for all of your support. It means just awesome. Thank you. Cleveland, Ohio. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel will be at the center of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for several movies to come. We got this covered. Reports that Larson will appear in at least 5 more MCU movies before her contract with Disney Marvel is up. Of course, Marvel nor anyone from Larson's team has confirmed this. This person will not go home. This person is hanging out at Disneyland, bothering Bob Iger, kissing up to him, blah, blah, blah. Put me in a Star Wars movie. Here's a picture of me with a lightsaber. Get out of here. The story also doesn't point out how many of those films will be Captain Marvel movies or Larson appearing in other characters' MCU films. It's gonna be like a Black Panther movie, and it's gonna be too much of a threat for them. And Captain Marvel show up. I'm here.
She's gonna do it in every movie. For the next 5 movies, she's gonna be the MacGuffin at the end that saves them.
That's true. Why don't you like me? I'm fixing everything. I can punch any villain out with one punch. I'm so badass. Why do these women? What is it with these feminists and the word badass?
On the 3rd time, I just gave the bad guy a look.
Yeah. Nope. This guy, no problem. Galactus, no problem.
I got this.
I don't think so.
I'm a badass. No, you're a fat ass. Get out of here.
She has no ass.
She has no ass. You're right about that.
No ass.
Flat ass. You're a flat ass, not a badass. All right. So we don't know, but she's gonna appear in other people's movies. Captain Marvel.
I think Disney's all in. They're gonna make a Captain Marvel ride down here in Disneyland that nobody goes to, like Galaxy's Edge.
Make a Captain Marvel ride and then have it crash right into a brick wall. It's 60 miles an hour. Anybody who gets into that ride, crash it right into the wall. All right, next, everyone get in. Next, everyone get in. Everyone.
I'm gonna have to hop off here, but thanks for having me on, man.
Oh,
Later,
yeah.
Eric.
Bye-bye, Eric.
Later.
Cool, man. Good talking to you.
Yeah.
Eric got
Good
uncomfortable
luck, everybody.
about my idea to murder the amusement podcast. I understand, Eric. I understand.
It's for everybody.
Have a great night. Captain Marvel, released this past February, grossed more than $1.1 billion worldwide, proving that a female character could lead a Marvel film. You motherfuckers. Not what it proved. That's not what it proved. What it proved was a man like Kevin Feige could find a way to trick the public into going to see a female character leading a Marvel film. And that is to put it in between 2 more substantial movies, 2 Avengers movies that everybody wanted to see, and say, this one, you got to see this one too if you want to understand the next one. That's how you tricked, you scammed, you grifted, since SJWs love the word grifter. You grifted $1 billion from movie-going patrons who still don't even know what they saw. What was that? What was that movie? Don't know.
They could have just made a Black Widow movie. We all were waiting for that.
Yeah.
Why?
Yep.
Tom Holland Spider-Man Far From Home hits theaters this week. It will be the centerpiece of the MCU moving forward. So whatever, dude. Yeah, we're not gonna be seeing the end of Captain Marvel. That's Brie Larson. Sorry. I did my best. I'm doing everything that I can. I don't think Yellow Flash is doing much.
Right.
Yellow Flash is out there making videos. I don't see him trying to change the way Brie Larson gets treated by Hollywood. The fuck?
It's going to be the end, the end of the Marvel movies. I'm looking forward to that new Joker, though.
You are?
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. I'm looking forward to that one. What do you guys think?
I like the taxi driver approach that they're doing with it.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Well, for an Elseworld story, I think it'll work.
Yeah.
I sure hope.
I just wonder how much it's going to feel like Joker and how much it's going to just feel like, hipster character study. That's
I
the
think
part
the
I'm
DC
worried about.
universe's time has come. Forget the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're going to revamp the DC movies, and boom, that'll be the next decade.
There's an article I just sent it to the group, guys, where they're talking about how T'Challa is not going to return. Like the guy from Black Panther is not going to return, and I guess it's to tell more stories in the Black Panther universe. So so it's not virtue signaling enough to just say, oh, it's a black hero. And it was an okay movie. It was fine. But it's like they don't want to build that much character brand equity in one property. They've got to dilute it like they're doing with Captain Marvel. Didn't destroy the Marvel Universe yet. It just damaged the franchise. It damaged the brand. So, it's like bad credit. It's like you just skip paying one bill, you'll damage your credit. You're not going to completely ruin your credit. It just gets worse and worse and worse and diluted over time.
Sure. I think it punctured the ship, and now it's going to start to sink.
And they know, and apparently they don't mind. Apparently they're good to go with that, and they can afford it. And it's kind of the thing is streaming is awesome, but when the focus moves to streaming, it's like, well, they get the revenue no matter what content they produce.
All right, so we got this covered. This is the article that you're talking about.
Yeah.
See what these weirdos are saying. This is a weird thing.
I don't know if it's a good site or not. I just came across it.
No, it's garbage. Most of these sites are garbage. Like we got covered as just more shill, filth, garbage tier.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter. We use these articles all the time. Cracklin says, "How about a Red Sonja movie? She's Marvel a movie on record." The Red Sonja movie. We're talking about that. Yeah,
It would be too sexy.
Well, it's I don't know. Look,
there's a new director on Red Sonja. They have a new director.
Yes, they do.
Oh, they do?
A transgendered woman is going to be directing Red Sonja.
I know that, but thank goodness.
Yeah, hooray!
Hey, why not? Important.
If Marvel's standalone Black Panther film showed us one thing, it was that the eponymous mantle is more than just one person. Like Batman, it represents a legend, one capable of striking fear into some and inspiring hopes in the others. By the way, this is just a way to get out of paying popular Black actors their increasing salary as they become more popular in these films. Hey, Black Panther, was who was playing Black Panther in the movie? Who was this guy? What did he even say? Do you guys know the name of the actor? He was in like Menace to Society.
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. Chadwick Boseman.
Oh no, that guy was Killmonger that I'm thinking of. All right, so Chadwick Boseman is Black Panther. Yeah, you get to do a movie. Now people expect Chadwick Boseman to come back and be Black Panther and Black Panther 2. No, wrong. Because Black Panther is just a mantle. He's just a mantle. So we're going to get the next guy and pay him $100,000 to be Black Panther in Black Panther 2. And Chadwick Boseman, well, what the hell? He's not going to be in the movie. This is so racist.
They already whitewashed Captain Marvel.
Leah Darda says they're going to they're casting Lena Dunham as Red Sonja. That is
gross.
Ouch. Dreadful. It's inevitable. I mean, all this stuff is going to happen, guys. Geek Truth says, "How about a Storm movie? A character I care about." Well, she's in the X-Men. I mean, they did pretty good with Storm. I'm scrolling back. Some people are saying I'm missing their super chats. I don't feel like I am. I'll go back and I'll do a super chat sweep in 1 second. Moving forward, though, it's entirely possible that Marvel will just pave the way for someone to succeed T'Challa as ruler of Wakanda. In fact, according to producer Nate Moore, the mantle won't just stick to one individual throughout the course of the MCU, with the filmmaker saying the following last year: "One thing I like to tell Ryan is the Black Panther is the mantle as much as it is the person, so we're not restricted by anything, because the truth is there's a lot of different ways to go back to Wakanda and have a good time and continue to explore the themes that made the first film so resonant." You know what? A lot of different people could get in that Iron Man suit, but you ain't getting Robert Downey Jr. out of there, are you? And you're going to pay him $60 million for every movie he's in.
They want a Suri movie. They want a movie with his sister. I bet. Watch.
Oh, that's coming. Yeah, they're doing that, and that's been a whole problem as well, because Tony Stark's daughter is in was in Endgame, and she's white. She's a 7-year-old. People know that she is going to become Ironheart. She's going to take over instead of Riri Williams. And Riri Williams is a black character, and of course, this little girl is white, so they're calling her a whitewashing bigot. She's 7, and they're abusing her on social media right now.
What is wrong with these people?
Do you want a list, a novel, or an essay? Hi, everyone.
Hey, man. How you doing?
I am
Mike is
exhausted.
here. All right.
Yes.
Good. You got to promote your book, Michael. What's your book called?
Inglewood. And do you need me to send you the link?
No, I will find it.
All right.
All right. So Flying Fortress. Eric is good. Eric stayed in here for a little while, and he got up to $19,314. Thank you guys for supporting Flying Fortress. The link is in the description below. And let me see. I'm gonna find Inglewood. Inglewood, always up to no good.
Yep. Starts with an E, not an I. Just as a heads up.
Mm-hmm. I figured that, Micah.
I had people asking me, it's like the area in California. No.
No, not at all. All right, so we got we got this book here, Micah. This looks pretty good. I actually looked at this yesterday. When I was spying on you. Micah, when I was up all night, obsessed about you, and I was like, how can I destroy Micah tomorrow? I was up thinking about you and looking at your campaign. I'm like SJW Spider-Man,
I would like to think that you like me a lot more than he does. So.
Yeah, I do. I'm interested in you. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
I'm interested in you. Why is this? Why is everything is a problem all the time? Let's see here. Okay, we can scroll backwards this way. Michael, what I'm doing is I'm putting your link in the description so that people will be able to support Inglewood.
Thank you.
Yeah. Back Micah's Inglewood. Here, this is good radio. What I do. I'm at my best when I'm putting stuff in the description. All right, so there's a new link in the description for Micah's Inglewood, and let's go take a look at it, and let's be harshly judgmental.
Go for it. I welcome criticism.
Oh, you say that now. You're a big man now. Yeah, I'm brutal. I'm absolutely brutal. All right, hold on a second. Here we go. Inglewood, a comic by Curtis, Martinez, and Strange. Can I ask you a question, Micah?
Go for it.
Why these names? Just leave them off.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? You're the star. You're the star here. And Stan Lee discovered that later on in his life, where he was just like, Stan Lee, creator of Iron Man. Well, what about Jack Kirby? What about him? Who? That's how you should be right at the outset. Okay, that would be good. Blum Tom says you guys are gay.
Okay. So you say that after Pride Month? I see how it is.
Yeah, Pride Month is over.
They missed it.
Now we're being shamed. Inglewood, a comic by Curtis, Martinez, and Strange. A hero is born in blood. Not bad. You got $2,491 so far. Micah Curtis has his own channel on YouTube that's pretty popular. Micah is old school. I would say OG ComicSGAte. Isn't that right?
I would say. I mean, I've been here since the whole thing. I've been around since Captain Cummings and I were friendly with each other. That should tell you something. That's a while ago.
Yeah, well, I still have my memories.
Yeah.
So you were around doing ComicSGAte videos way back when, and that's where I discovered you too. I thought you had an interesting voice. Mikey gets angry like I do.
Mm-hmm.
Not like angry like Cummings did. Like Captain Cummings was like, rah, 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 "Where's my $40?"
Watch me walk away from you while I'm recording you.
I'm gonna go call the cops. You weren't like that. You just had righteous anger. You're annoyed. I mean, when stuff like this is happening to your favorite comic books, your hobby is in jeopardy. It's being mismanaged by weirdos. Yeah, it does make you angry. So Micah has a great channel, Micah Curtis. Go subscribe to that, but also check out his comic book here. So let's scroll down. What is this book about, Micah?
All right, so one thing I kind of realized. Wait, do you want the elevator pitch or just kind of the general stuff?
talk, Micah. You're good at this.
All right. So the inspiration for this one came from a couple different things, personal experience and something I noticed in the market. So market part is I noticed a lot of people have been frustrated with street level stories. A lot of them were getting a little too cerebral for people. Looking at you, Tom King. Others just weren't really understanding the character. And, you know, Ta-Nehisi Coates' Captain America, and before him, Nick Spencer's. You had, you know, Daredevil could have been better than what it was. I've always thought that, or the most recent run, I thought like had interesting ideas, but the execution could have been better. But you know, things like that, a lot of people were just dissatisfied with it. So Spider-Man, obviously, Slotto Blocktavius was kind of mucking it up just to screw with fans too. And then of course Coates is Black Panther. So I saw a vacuum and I said, you know, I could probably create a really good street level story that people would really get into. And then I realized, you know, Chicago's the murder capital of the world now, which is unfortunate because I'm from that area originally. So I wanted to set a story in that area, and I wanted to make like a Shang-Chi or Iron Fist like character who's like the top martial artist in the world. And the best way to do that in the modern day, mixed martial artist. You know, you want to find a guy who's disciplined in like 5 different martial arts, watch a UFC card, you know? So this character, and here comes the elevator pitch, is basically he is former heavyweight champion of the world in mixed martial arts. He falls under fails a drug test during his last fight for painkillers, and his career is done. After that, he decides, after some soul searching, he wants to go home to Chicago and try to give back to the community, something that his parents had done for years. In standing up to a gang member, retaliation happens. After the retaliation, out of that blood comes a new person, the Saint of Inglewood.
Sounds cool, man. This sounds like a fun comic. It's got a great cartoony style. You know what this piece right here reminds me of? It's just your boy Zach at New York City Comic Con 2017. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what it was. It was just weird. Like, we're gonna get him. Very weird. Very, very weird.
This table.
Yeah. Put this table over. Just bring him to me. If you find him here. That's what this is. So this looks like a cool book. Mikey, you've been planning this for like a year.
Yeah. I have 3 different books I've been planning for about that amount of time. And it was, I won't go into like too much detail because I don't want to, throw anybody under the bus. Because I'll just say that I had an artist that was lined up for one book that was originally supposed to go on Indiegogo in January. It didn't pan out. So that one got tabled. This project with me and Brian was one where he was constantly working on it. He was passionate about it, really wanted to do it. And then it just formulated. And then now I actually found a different artist to do the other 2 books that I'm working with that I really like too. And his name is Preston Acevedo, and he is an unknown, but a super talented dude. So I've managed to find relative unknowns that are really talented guys and bring them together for something that I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy.
Cool.
It looks like fun, man. It looks like fun. This is the art style that I was using for a comic book pitch that I offered to Vertigo before it went down. It was called Bible-rella, and it was about a fat old woman who had an enormous Bible, and she would find masturbators and smack the Bible down on their genitals.
Oh my God.
That was the whole book, It was like, and it was in this cartoony style like this. It was like, like the Bible would come down. She'd smack them. She looked like a granny, Bible-rella. They didn't like it. They didn't buy that. I thought it was fun.
Church lady on steroids. I love it.
Yeah.
Dana Carvey would be proud.
Yeah. I'll put it up on Twitter. Some people are still interested in it, but
definitely put it on Twitter.
And what is it?
By the way, there are 3 Micahs in here right now, and all the Micahs are saying this is a nightmare.
All the Micahs.
Have I don't know, Ethan, I don't think I've ever told you about the Micah effect.
Mm-hmm.
So the Micah effect is whenever a Micah meets, and people in the chat will know this, anytime that somebody meets a Micah, they immediately have to tell you about the other Micahs that they've met in their lifetime.
My brother's actually named Micah. He's Micah Henderson.
Are you serious?
Yes, my little brother, baby bro,
Brother named Micah?
Micah Henderson, my baby bro.
Ugh.
You got to be kidding me. That's crazy.
I had to tell him that. I don't know why. I felt compelled.
Well,
Like I said, man, it's the Micah effect, man.
I want a effect name after me.
yeah, I gotta say, I got a brother named Micah too. For real, my brother, the brother in between me, I got Josiah, then Micah, then Noah. I
Wow.
just realized that I have a brother, Micah Van Sciver. You can look him up.
We're all connected.
Yeah, we're
In a
all.
weird way.
So I'm not I'm not that I don't know. I'm not that shocked by Micah. Other people are shocked by Micah Curtis.
Oh yeah.
They're like, his name's Micah. What the hell? It's not Michael. It's not Mike. No, it's Michael. Micah. And they're freaked out because they don't know the Holy Bible the way that me, Micah, and Barbarella do.
Right.
So
Slam it down.
yeah. Well, if you see a masturbator, you smack him hard. I mean, hard with the Holy Bible.
That would save a lot of problems on public transportation. We have a protocol on what we do if we see a masturbator.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. I used to ride the subways all the time. It was a nightmare.
Yeah. Anyway, these so we got Englewood, a comic by Curtis, Martinez, and Strange. Let me just go through. Back to CyberFrog. CyberFrog, by the way, CyberFrog team up cover. By the way, Micah DT says high five for the Micahs. Badass Comics says, what the hell is a super chat? Sup, Ethan, Vaughn, Cal, and others. Wishing you all wisdom now and far into the future. Wisdom Comics launches soon on Indiegogo. Thank you, Badass Comics, for the super chat, which I guess you just learned what it was. Micah DT says, D2 says, I've only been around 3 Micahs before. I've only met 3 or 4 in my life. It's a weird thing to us. It's the same thing with Ethan. I didn't know any Ethans growing up, and now every 8-year-old is named Ethan. Ethan, shut up. All these soccer moms naming their kids Ethan. Brian Kreisgau says, yo, EVS, did you ever get the comics I mailed you? Yes, Six Gun Gorilla. You had like 6 issues of that. We looked at them last night, and they look good. They look good. He says not to be pushy. I opened them up, and they actually look really nice, and it seems like you're way into it. 6 issues of Monkey Comics. That's quite an investment of time. So CyberFrog Bloodhoney team up cover, we're still going with this. This book is going to be around for a little while longer, maybe 3 more weeks before we close this down. You still have time to back CyberFrog Bloodhoney, the team up cover, and I hope you do. It's going to be sweet. I think you're going to dig it. But what's closing down tonight is this. You've only got 7 more hours. 7 more hours. That's like 14 episodes of Maury Povich. How long is it? No, Maury Povich is an hour, right? An hour long. You got 7 more episodes of Maury Povich. And by the way, thank you for getting this thing up to $55,604. That's pretty substantial. We got 7 hours to go.
This comic's a big deal. That people are coming together, working with company. People are going to want to have this in their collection.
I hope so. It means a lot. It's an important book, and it's a cool book. It's just the beginning of a lot of opportunities that I think we're all going to have.
I wish you had a poster to go along with it, because that art it really deserves a poster.
What we wish what?
Here's a poster that there's a poster version of that Vampirella cover, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put it on here. This is the thing. If you don't want to back the comic book, I understand. Down here, there is a new opportunity to get this as a poster. For $50, I'll sign it. And it is described as a high-quality lithograph of the CyberFrog and Vampirella cover art. It measures 18 inches by 24 inches and is composed of high-grade 100-pound archival stock, the perfect measure of durability to ensure its proud owner's enjoyment for years to come. Packaged individually in its own protective tube to guarantee safe shipping and handling. So that's cool. Wow, we sold 58 of those.
And these are signed.
3 days. Yeah, these are all signed. And, maybe you want everything. So now you can get all the books, all 3 versions of this cover, and the poster as well for $150. All are signed. Everything is signed. And it looks like we've sold 34 of those. So you've still got plenty of time. If 7 hours, is 7 hours plenty of time?
Sure.
Depends.
I don't know.
It
You can
is.
go get a drink or watch a TV show, but then you got to get right back and get it done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, take your time if you know, as long as you don't fall asleep for, 7.5 hours, right, Micah?
Pretty much.
I mean, it's probably better to just go ahead and back it, then do what you have to do. And then, if you want to add something else to it, you add something else to it. But just get it over.
Back it and back it again.
Better investment than Mike's Bitcoin, I think.
Yeah. Probably a better investment than Bitcoin. This isn't going to plummet in value overnight suddenly, and you don't have to invest all your money. And it just, quick. I don't know how much you want to invest in it, but thank you so much for backing this comic, and thank you so much for your eternal continued support, and thank you so much for everything that you're doing so far for everyone else. What was his name? SJW Spider-Man was just making fun of ComicSgate. He's like, "Yo, ComicSgate. I guess ComicSgate is really growing." I tell you, ComicSgate is growing. ComicSgate is getting bigger. There are more and more people who want to be a part of ComicSgate, who are feeling brave enough to leave the mainstream, come out independently, and do their own thing. Everyone has ideas. Everyone has their own ideas. It's nice to not be told no. It's nice to be told yes. You can do it. You can do it, and we will. If your book's good enough, we will help support you as a kind of family here. Your books will get seen, and you will have an opportunity to get funded and put out your own comic book without having to bow and kneel. Micah, who's the worst person at Marvel Comics? Tom Brevoort or
writer or editor?
I would say editor, like somebody empowered.
Brevoort. Oh yeah, Brevoort or Quesada. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like Marvel would instantly be better tomorrow if Brevoort or Quesada were gone, or both.
Absolutely, I agree, 100%.
I don't know what happened to Quesada because he worked directly under Jim Shooter in the Valiant studio, directly under Jim Shooter.
Yeah,
better.
What happened?
The man learned zero things, and which is so unfortunate because he presided over a great era of comics. Even though it was kind of the era where they set a standard to fail later. Like you had some of the books that were going out are like during Civil War and stuff like that. Carol Danvers is actually interesting at that point in time. Now that's a feat that hadn't been done since Claremont. So like that. There was just a bunch of good books going on at the time. Like J. Michael Straczynski's Thor and Spider-Man were great, and all this other stuff. And
Thor series was my favorite. Oh my god!
Oh yeah,
man. The
so
talent
good.
on that.
Remember how exciting Secret Wars was when Secret Wars first came out? I mean, if you guys were I don't know how old you guys were back in the day, but it was so cool to see all the characters kind of together off doing something.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, Marvel Comics in the late 80s, I thought was just fantastic. It was so good, man. It was just so good. It's a shame. It's a shame what it's come to. They had a sharp brand. All their characters. Look at Secret Wars. Look at Mike Zeck's Secret Wars cover. For goodness sakes.
But what you had there was Shooter was like the last editor in chief. There were standards, and I didn't know him very well. He did do a little work with me on a couple things, which will hopefully be ComicSgate books. We will see. In any event, but one of the things he taught me and told me, like back when we were publishing comics in the early 90s, was he's like, listen, Adam, you want your books to sell equal amounts. You don't want one book that sells 1 million copies and another book that sells 5,000 copies. That's not the point. You don't want multiple covers. What you want is you want to deliver for the fans. You want them to give them what they're looking for. You want people to buy the entire line because it's worth it to buy the entire line. And that's where you got Kitty Pryde and Wolverine. Why didn't you just have, just Wolverine, for example, at the time? And it's because there is a place for Kitty Pryde because she's a different kind of character than Wolverine is. They're not all supposed to be Wolverine. It's a lot of discussions they had, too, about making, characters do things like what the Punisher did. The Punisher is an anti-hero. There's discussions like, well, this wouldn't be heroic or that would be heroic. There was a deep concern to make sure that the stuff made sense editorially and that people were trying to do their best work and everybody was held to a standard.
You see right there? That's logic. You're talking about logic. They don't have that anymore. That's why they felt shit.
Now it's just deliberate. It's exactly what Ethan said. It's a hijack game. They hijack stuff and they're trying to destroy the franchise.
And shock value. I mean, look at this crap now. Since their little stunts aren't working, so now what are they going to do? They're going to Hollywood. We'll go to the Hollywood stunt. J.J. Abrams. I mean, come on. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not even him. His son.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just they use it. You know, it's almost like if you picture what Bloodhoney is it's you just picture they have control of the comics planet, and then they suck value out of it to use it for what they want to use it for. They make the books for themselves, and that's the thing that's total amateurish. Is they make the book completely for themselves without consideration for fans and customers. And you know, you just want to. There's obviously a lot of fans that want good books again. You know and people will always go where the enthusiasm is. I would say though that ComicSgate would be in big trouble if there wasn't direct to consumer like this. If we didn't have crowdfunding, if we didn't have YouTube as a way to connect with people and obviously show people like, there are still pros out there. There's still people that are professionals that are passionate about the comics that will make them for the guys that want to buy them.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
100%. And that, that's what they're scared of. I mean, these people are afraid. I said this before and I'll say it again. Marvel and DC see us as an existential threat. If we show them over and over again that, anyone can get out there. I mean, anyone can get out there and can, make their own comics, crowdfund them, make a decent profit. I mean, a better profit than you would a page rate if you were doing this book for them, and own your own IP. Then why would anybody spend their lives doing work for them? They're aware of this. It's like their margins, their profit margins are already razor thin. And then you're going to take their biggest name talent and say, look, Greg Capullo, honestly, you want to just do your own comic book. You want to just create your own character, crowdfund it, promote it on Twitter or YouTube. You're going to make 500 times, what you're making it at DC, and you'll never want to draw Batman again. You already did it. Draw your own stuff and own it.
As long as you keep doing this, Ethan, as long as more of us keep dedicating some time and energy to this and really focusing on it, it will happen. And I was around in those days when Image guys were the guys who became Image, starting with Rob Liefeld, got swept away from Marvel. And I'm still actually pretty good friends with Scott Rosenberg, who made the deal with Malibu to first distribute all the Image guys stuff to a direct market. And then they broke off on their own. They created their own office. But people didn't think. No one would have thought that Todd McFarlane was going to leave Spider-Man to go sort of do his own thing. No one would have thought of that. So it's very possible. And it's totally happening. I think that what ComicSgate does is it really shows people that, look, obviously there's a problem in the industry. ComicSgate really is the solution. You identify the problem, and then we're focusing on the solution, which is to deliver these books. We're not going to Marvel and saying to Marvel, hey man, you got to make some changes, and we're going to have some arguments where your people who pay your bill. They don't care about any of that. Obviously they get their money from someplace else, and their social agenda is more important than any kind of editorial agenda for comics. That's just the way it is. But look, I mean, look at the guys. Ethan, you're doing everything except the colors, I guess, and the letters. But you're putting together a book from a blank page to a beautiful, top-selling, gigantic, successful property. And there's smaller projects, and there's other big projects. There's all kinds of people. There's different pros and whatnot. So the energy and the enthusiasm is here in ComicSgate. And these books haven't even gotten into more traditional distribution just yet. Some will, and some won't. Some will be wind up in comic shops and bookstores and wherever other places. They don't need to. Those will be ancillary, secondary, just extra stuff. If CYBERFROG eventually makes it to comic stores, it's going to be a huge seller. It has to be. There's no way it's not. People are aware of it, and it's a gorgeous looking book.
Oh, that's fine. I don't know if it will be. I have my doubts. I just don't know. But I hope to try. I'm going to try because I think it's my duty. I think I have to do this. I think I have to just kind of.
Even just to torture the proper people.
Yeah,
you really need the proper pain and discipline.
Yeah,
I think the best part is SJW is protesting it if it's in shops, and then you getting tons of headlines that everybody shows up at the shop asking to get a copy.
Yeah,
that's what I can't wait for.
Streisand effect.
Yeah, I know. They're trying to do that now. It's like they're always trying to they're currently trying to threaten dynamite. I was like, look, guys,
Yeah,
here's the
That's
thing.
futile.
Good luck threatening dynamite. Look what I just did. $55,759 for a variant cover of Vampirella. I'm pretty sure they're happy with me.
You can't threaten the guy whose name is Bob. You can't threaten Nick Barucci. He'll blow up on you.
Yeah.
Well, even beyond that, it's a bunch of people who never bought anything from Dynamite threatening to not buy Dynamite. Seriously,
Exactly.
it's like vegans threatening Burger King. What, you really think we're gonna take that seriously?
Of course not.
That's every Chick-fil-A boycott. Yeah.
We haven't bought anything from you in years, but we were really going to.
You know what? Just as an interesting idea, guys. I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not. There's Buddy Saunders has a huge mail order comics business called mycomicshop.com. He used to own Lone Star Comics, about 7 or 8 locations. He sold off to locations.
It's a good site.
It's a massive website. Well, you know what they do? First of all, Buddy will resell books, and they also have their own auction site, which is like, they really do. Like, yeah, they really do. So if you want to slab copies of CYBERFROG or Ravage Kill All Men, or any of the other big titles, so you could put $100 price point, whatever the price point is for secondary copies, and they will 99% chance, as long as it's over a $25 retail, they'll carry it on consignment. And if you put in a call, I mean, I don't know him very well, but if we call him and just say, hey, look, this is what it is, we'd like you to feature it. If you can feature us a little bit, we'll feature you a little bit. I think they'd be very happy to carry it at least on consignment, and people be able to find it when they're looking for it. People out looking for these books.
They are. And everybody should just be like this. Everybody should just remember SJWs are ruining the comic book industry, and use that as a propellant. I mean, this is the greatest comic book panel I've ever seen. Every time I see this, it makes me laugh. It's like, every last one of them, and I'm going to turn this hate into cash. T-shirt. This should be the comic
Spite is a powerful fuel for creating things, man. When Saturday Night Live rejected Pee Wee Herman, he was like, "All right, screw you," and he made Pee Wee's Playhouse. And he made Pee Wee's Playhouse, and he won like 20 Emmys or whatever, and he made a ton of money. So spite is powerful.
All right.
Yeah, it is. It's true, and it's not always such a bad thing. Sometimes, like being like, I am so disturbed by what's going on all around me, I have to make a change. I have to do something personally to change things. It's important.
It's great. It's a nice, clean, spiritual fuel, and you definitely use it well, and and it's apparent. So I mean,
I've had SJWs have changed my work and turned it into politicized crap and messed with my potential career in film, man. Like,
in what way? What did they do?
Well, when I lived in Chicago for 10 years, went to film school there, and I became the go-to screenwriter for all of my professors. I was kind of like, I worked the hardest, I did the most, I had worked my way up, and I was getting films produced, so actual budgets and directors being assigned to them. And I had this award-winning script that was getting produced, short film, but I was really hopeful it was going to rock the film festivals. It was going to be the start of my career because I was just graduating. And they assigned a little blonde-haired, blue-eyed SJW director to it who wanted to do only political activist films. He turned my script about 2 stepbrothers learning to become, brothers and friendly into a story about how white people aren't treating Native Americans properly, like the antithesis of brotherly love. He made a horrible film that no one watched. I watched it all go down in flames. I don't even know if my name's on it, and my name might be on it, but this award-winning script that I had so much hope for my future in just was distorted into this politicized mess. And I knew, and back then I didn't even know the term SJW. I don't think it was really around. I just knew that activism and politics brings down your art. That is something everyone should understand, regardless of being on the left or right. If you care about the arts, politics are going to bring it down. It is not an ingredient to success or entertaining people in a fun way. So, and then after that, I went to a video game symposium on a college campus thinking I was going to get this awesome, you know, making of games, art of video games, the story behind making games, maybe something intellectual about it. It was all SJWs, each giving a different speech. First speech, too many white males in gaming, just too many of them. And then the next speech, like, we got to deal with online harassment. It's a real problem. The only thing in our way is that pesky First Amendment. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, how are they telling college kids this? The next chick made, she had a whole career at making video games that they shipped off to American high schools to teach kids how to think, how to feel, basically propaganda video games for far left ideology.
Oh, that's horrible.
Next, the last one was a trans creator, and she made games where no one was a winner and no one was a loser. And I was just done. I was done. I was like, that was my red pill moment, man. I knew these people were like ridiculous buffoons, but I also knew they were very driven, and they were here on a college campus giving these speeches, influencing generations of kids, and really driven to make a change because they firmly believe that media is what you use to control and manipulate people into believing the way you do. So for them, this was all just a big propaganda fest. I knew I had to, you know, that something had to be done. I went home, did my research, and it led me on the path to where I am now making comics. I saw what they did to video games. It was crazy. So yeah, it was amazing, man.
Yes.
Hail Von Klaus. What a great
Hail.
Let's check out Von Klaus's book. In case you're wondering, he's the writer behind Monster M.D., the creator behind Monster M.D., which is one of the coolest ComicSGATE projects that's available right now. It's kind of like Dr. Frankenstein, the Reanimator with the Invisible Woman, and then, well, I'll take it from there, Von. What is this about?
Oh, so a surgical prodigy loses his arm to a masked madman. He meets his first monster, and that monster donates their arm to him so he can continue his work. But they have one request. Please help people like me. Please help the other monsters. He ends up becoming an underground monster to the local doctor, or underground doctor to the local monsters. But no, it's kind of funny. The actual plot is he feels like he's more of a monster than they are. He's starting to hurt patients. He's starting to leave patients behind. He thinks he doesn't have what it takes anymore. When suddenly his invisible surgical assistant, Heidi H. Hyde, the hottest invisible nurse you're ever going to see or not see, ends up getting kidnapped by this same masked madman that ruined his surgical career once before. He has to work with the monsters and believe in them more than ever to win her back and save her. So great story, great references to classic horror films throughout, amazing art by our Italian artist Marco Maccagni, and our incredible colorist Tanya Wicker, who just is killing it on these pages. I mean, I can never keep up with her great ideas and how she does things. I love how these lights behind Wyatt that you see here, some of them are lit up and some of them are broken down and dead because his whole operation is very poorly put together and just hanging with a lick of a prayer together. And, you know, he works out of an old medical truck that he affectionately calls the meat wagon. So he can hide away and also go and pick up patients when he needs to. So it's this great, really well fleshed out, realized world where a lot of monsters that you may love will make cameos. But even if you don't like monsters, the action in this, the passion in this, the heart that me and this team have put into this, it's the best thing any of us have ever made. And we're all really, really psyched to show it to you guys.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's one of the best things that I've seen in indie comics. I mean, clearly this looks like it's going somewhere. It looks like it's going to be a movie or something. That's what it looks like to me. But you know, you can get on board early. You know, if you guys are watching right now, this comic is called Monster M.D. The link to the Indiegogo campaign is in the description below the chat. Go ahead and pop over there and support this comic book. And you know, show Von Klaus a little bit of love for getting out there, doing his thing, independent, standing up to the SJWs, all of that stuff. That's very, very important. And it's important that you show them a little love. We've also got a bunch of other books that we're promoting tonight. Englewood, a comic by Micah Curtis, Martinez and Strange. What is Englewood about, Micah?
Englewood is the story of a now disgraced mixed martial arts champion, the baddest man on the planet, coming home to Chicago to try to make a difference in his community. In the process of standing up to a gang member who wants to screw with one of his students, retaliation happens. Blood is shed, and a hero is born from that blood. He goes from being champion to fallen, to the Saint of Inglewood.
Beautiful, beautiful. So this is your first comic, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I've been wanting to do writing for the longest time, and this is the first time I think I've ever written something in my life creatively that just clicked, just bam. Like, I loved it. I loved writing. I loved scripting this book and all the other stuff I'm working on, but especially this one, because it's about my state, what I consider to be my hometown. It's about, martial arts, which I'm a boxer myself, and I started learning Muay Thai. I love martial arts. I love stuff like that. So, there's a lot of me in this, and yeah, first comic, and I'm super excited about it because it's a gritty street level story. I'm chasing, in a lot of ways, chasing Frank Miller, chasing chasing Chuck Dixon, chasing like one thing that I think kind of reminded me after I was finished with it, kind of the main character reminded me of Chuck's version of Batman. Chuck always wrote Batman with a heart. And that was always something that, Chuck and I have talked about this, and I, heaped my praises on him for it. But I that was something I always wanted. I love characters with heart, even though they're in grittier places. That's the sort of story that I want to tell people, is gritty, street level, badass, action oriented comic books. It has depth, but it also has enough for the part of you that wants to just sit there, eat popcorn, and watch somebody get their ass kicked.
And it looks like it's going to become a video game. So,
Yeah. See, the cover reminds me of Double Dragon in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have my colorist has been sending me previews. If you don't mind if I screen share for a second.
Yeah.
He sent me this work in progress of the cover. And I'll zoom out a little bit. So the background here is completely finished, and now he's working on the characters themselves. I love the lighting on these, the anarchist here, and then this biker thug right here. Like, it's this my colorist is a relative unknown, but he is phenomenally talented dude. So yeah, it's cool. I love it. I'm super excited about this whole thing.
When that cover comes out, you're going to sell a bunch more books. I'll tell you that when that cover's finished.
Yeah, I believe it. It's that is one criticism that's levied at me, is a lot of blacks and whites here, not a lot of color stuff yet. So it's been an interesting project how it all fell together. It's just like when I needed something, there was instantly somebody there to fill in the blank. It's been crazy.
Yeah. All right. So support Englewood. The link is in the description. Let's see. Shinobi Sasquatch. How you doing, Cal?
I'm doing awesome, man. Just chilling out, listening to all you guys talk.
Cal, what's Shinobi Sasquatch all about anyway?
I'm gonna come at it from a different angle this time. So there's a cult in Shinobi Sasquatch's world called the Awoken Soul Society, and that's abbreviated ASS on purpose. And they're just super woke. They're like the Illuminati mixed with like current day SJW nonsense. And they have a plan. The leader in the Pacific Northwest, his name is Wade DeMarco. And he's got a plan to enslave all the minds, all the people in the Pacific Northwest, and use them as a zombie army to take over the nation and then the world. So Shinobi Sasquatch, the ninja werewolf Bigfoot, is trying to thwart this plan in book 1. And he's got some friends helping him. And I think it's going to be a freaking awesome book. I can't wait to see how the artist Rob brings to life all the words that I've sent him. And he's working really hard on that right now.
That's the best part, isn't it? That's just awesome.
Oh man, it's so great.
The results of collaboration. It's, I love seeing Kyle Ritter turn back colored pages for me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's such a great feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, every time I'll tell you this, whenever I see a page, like when Rob posts or sends me a new page, my brain always kind of explodes for a moment. Just like, wow, did I write that? Is that a thing that I wrote? And I will say, more than once, it's been him improving upon my ideas. Because I told him, and I'll tell you, any writers out there working with really phenomenal artists, give them that leeway You know, let them know, like, as long as the story stays intact, you know, if you can envision it better than me, then freaking draw it that way. Because I'm a writer, you know, I'm not a visual artist like Rob is, but he takes the ideas I give him and he makes them so much better than how the script, you know, how they look in the script. So yeah, I'm stoked. I'm every single time I get a new page from him. And by the way, on my screen right now, I'm sharing some pencils. Rob's waiting on his Amazon delivery for his on his inks, but he posted this image today of Shinobi gorgeous. Sasquatch in wolf form. Yeah, it's I wish we would have scanned every page in pencils, because I think that would be a great like an extra perk later to do just a penciled version of the book. His pencils are off the oh my gosh, I can't even believe how good they are.
I love the expression and the shadowing. That is so badass.
And look at that, you know, like, you know, when usually this happens in the coloring phase, the color holds, you know, people will kind of like the colorist will kind of pull background stuff into the background by changing the blacks to a different color. Look at Rob's fist there. The left fist is like, he did that with pencils. He just left it kind of washed out, you know.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Fantastic. You know, if you haven't backed Shinobi Sasquatch yet, I mean, there's still time. Obviously, we are, even though this book is in demand, it's going to stay in demand for a little while because we're trying to get it to 40,000. The trick is this. These two guys are friends. Von Klaus and Cal Jameson are friends. They've already promised fans that if they can both get to 40,000, and you know, Vaughn is getting there. Vaughn's at 37 and change right now, and Shinobi Sasquatch is nearly at 35. I think the next few backers are going to put him over 35. Then they're going to do a joint kind of jam book together, Shinobi Sasquatch versus Monster M.D. So, dude, that's too cool to not happen. We got to get these guys past 40,000. Support these two comics and make that perk, unlock that stretch goal.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing to do. Let's get that stretch goal unlocked. All right, so over here we've got our buddy Ben Henderson and Cautionary Comics. Ben's actually starting his own company.
Yeah, it's been a great ride. We have a whole lineup of projects coming out. You know, that's part of the great thing about crowdfunding, I think. You know, you get to put out your ideas and, you know, see, you know, really what takes off and collaborate with amazing creators. And yeah, it's been a heck of a ride.
Wonderful. Offworlder is about what?
So the Offworlder tells the tale of Henry Gunn, right? He's a 7th century Scottish lord, but he's ripped from space and time to take on the role of a champion for an alien race called the Anunnaki, which is actually based on Sumerian lore. And then, you know, he has to face another alien race called Lazarson. It's a big intergalactic war. The character is actually based on my ancestor, Henry Gunn, the Henry from Henderson. Took it and, you know, took that character and his adventures and, of course, you know, blew that up into a huge sci-fi epic.
Oh, that's so cool, man. All right, so you're trying to get 30,000. By the way, why did you make your fixed goal this big?
Because with editorial, you know, for the art, we're doing 48 pages, you know, with bringing Mike Barron on board, the covers and printing, you know, the way we want to print, that's the number we need to get it done.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. It's just rare that I see people actually put the fixed goal like that. But yeah, cool.
That might have bit us, you know, because you hit the trend when you go lower. But, you know, I wanted to be realistic about it. We made some changes with this campaign. You know, we got a different shipping company. We're not doing signatures on this campaign because it took a while to send those, you know, around the world. But we're going to be able to get everybody their books 90 days after the end of our campaign.
Oh, that's so cool. I can't wait to get everybody CyberFrog. I swear to God, I'm so excited about it. I'm waiting for the stuff to come back. I know that CyberFrog Vampirella went off to the printer already, so we don't even know what we're selling on CyberFrog Vampirella, but the prints or the posters and the books themselves are already being made.
Cool.
Along with Bloodhoney. I haven't had a comic book out in ages. Seems like a year and a half since I've had my last book out, so this is pretty exciting. All right, so back Off-Worlder, you know, Ben is somebody who knows how to put out a comic book. His last comic book did very, very well at ComicSGATE. We want to support this one too. And College of the Dead comic book by Adam Post. Adam's doing a zombie book, and we got to get him to 5,000. He's done pretty well. He's picked up some backers here tonight.
Absolutely.
What's College of the Dead about?
You know, College of the Dead is a zombie apocalypse story. It takes place on a college campus. And what you get to see is a professor she's a really like brilliant, manipulative sociopath. She manipulates her college students in the middle of this zombie outbreak to do what she needs to have them do so that she's able to get away with her daughter and escape. So she just kind of lets them die. And you see that in the heartless people are really the ones that survive comics publishing. No, also survive a zombie apocalypse. But you know what? You got to be out for you. And it's interesting because it's that part of the story where it's like, look, you know, would you do what this character would do? And would I do it? You know, I don't know. I'm not so maybe. I guess I probably would. It's actually basically the story is based on me. I did this. But no, you've got the professor. You've got the professor manipulating students, and that's what the basis of that cover scene is, where there's a drugged up college student who's been tricked into getting on his college uniform and going rah 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 against these zombies, and you see some zombie heads getting pulled off. I mean, if you're into the gore and the zombie stuff, they did an amazing job, the creative team putting this together. And it's my idea, collaborating with a really great writer and a really great artist, and I have published a good number of other comics before, but this is really me getting back into comics, and I'm back into comics really because of ComicSGATE. I started working on this project, and I was going to do it through Kickstarter, and I had some thoughts about doing it. I've done a couple of small Kickstarters before, but there's no enthusiasm. It's funny. You just have to have an excitement about what it is that you're doing, and all the life and all the action is really in ComicSGATE. And how do you not agree that basically ComicSGATE has made the future of comics with direct selling of the comics just to the fans, and with making good books that you're passionate about.
I love it. They're calling you Half Speed Tucci in the chat. Your Half Speed Tucci means your voice sounds a little slowed down.
That is a very big compliment.
It is. Tucci's awesome. Everybody loves Billy Tucci.
I can get half the love. Billy deserves it. It's fun. I hadn't seen Billy in like 25 years, and he told me he was going to be at a local shop. I went to a signing, and I saw Billy, and I'm like, really? He's like, Adam? I'm like, yeah, dude. I hugged the guy as soon as you said you sounded just like him when you said, yeah. Yeah. But he's so enthusiastic. And it's like, you know what? People, honestly, I don't know if people like me for whatever they like me for, but I bring enthusiasm wherever I go. It's people expect it. You can't have an off day when you're enthusiastic either. Everybody expects you to be up.
Yeah, I think people like you a lot because you sound like Tucci, Billy Tucci, at half speed. And yet, College of the Dead comic book is like Billy Tucci at 4 times his speed, because this book is zombies. It's crazy. It's football. It's like college and zombies together. Billy Tucci loves zombies. I think he would be proud of this comic. I think it kicks ass. We're hoping you're going to get some support. You're looking for $5,000 to make this goal happen. And guys, support Half Speed Tucci. What's wrong with that? Go to College of the Dead. It's in the links in the description. Give Half Speed Tucci. Sorry, Adam. This is your new nickname.
No, I like it. I like
support.
I gotta get me now or something like that.
That live stream is going to be awesome with you too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, it's awesome. All right, so City of Venus, Dead City by Vinny T. The other one, the other kind of new book that we're promoting tonight. Vinny just put this out. What, 2 days ago? How long has it been? Maybe last week.
I think this is the 3rd day.
This is day 3.
No. Yeah. I started I had 55 days on the campaign.
How? What's this book about?
Yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic future where all technology is dead except for this city floating in the sky and those who inhabit it. So it's like the ultra elite, the scientists, the most brilliant of engineers, and they want to keep themselves above all else, everyone else. For centuries, they've been doing this, and they've been doing it with this unique power source that's keeping them up there. So below are the experimented, the mutated, the sick, and below that, it's the few living, so the scavengers. And they're looking desperately to survive. So our story follows this unknown woman who is thrust into this world with little to no knowledge of how she got there. So, and she has a connection to that floating city. So this book is going to be a lot of action. It's got sci-fi elements all over it. I'm going to be pulling a lot of cool stuff happening. So we're going to see monsters in here. We're going to see mech kind of robots. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun stuff in here. So it's a project that I poured so much into. From the story to the pencils, the paints I have in here, you know, it's a lot of hard work. It's one of my passions, was working on this project. So
Well,
I hope you guys love it.
It's phenomenal. It's beautiful, and I don't care what people say. Your women have big boobies. Some people accused you otherwise. I don't think that's true at all. This is excellent.
You should scroll down. I added some artwork from the art book. So if you get tier 2, did you get that art book?
Yeah.
I put a nice Alice piece up.
Oh, yeah. Hold on a second here. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. So I think it got front and back covered. What do you think?
Yeah, good job. Yeah, I think you did a good job. And I think people who accuse you of skimping on female anatomy are wrong. They're wrong. I mean, some people were angry because the character here didn't look like she was, particularly blessed up top. Those people are going to have to just give you a pass because the rest of the book looks absolutely awesome in that regard, and I don't think anybody needs to worry about it. So, back City of Venus.
They were just negging.
They were negging.
Yeah, that's what they were doing.
Awesome.
Maybe do an alternate cover where she might appear differently.
Yeah, why not do another cover?
Yeah, Ethan, would you want to help out?
Well, I don't know.
You gotta make him an offer. You can't refuse.
Yeah, yeah. I'm busy, but sure. I want to help everyone out. Honestly,
if we hit a stretch goal,
yeah, stretch goal, we could do it. We should put a stretch goal.
I'm gonna send you my secret Jim Shooter project.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna put partners on it. We'll make billions. I tell you, billions. This is a very cool. You've been working on this for a long time, haven't you? I mean, this is not you just knocked this out. You're working
this
on
project?
Yeah, for at least a year.
Oh yeah. This project was in the works for a while. I've been juggling a couple different projects actually. I've got all different genres. So the one I'm currently working on while I'm pushing this campaign, that was going to be more of a pirate book and an adventure story. So I'm trying to get more stuff done. Like this first issue is completed, so I don't want people to wait. So this is my third campaign. So the first two, as soon as the campaign was done, I received my funds from Indiegogo. I mailed them out. I don't want anyone waiting. I want them to be happy and satisfied right off the bat.
Beautiful.
I like how you did her eyes. If you make it big again, her eyes like really stand out. And then I try to look away, and that's Von Claus. I kind of can't look away from her eyes. They really, really stand out. It's almost like a little creepy. Like she's alive.
Well, that's why I got kind of famous for doing my those portraits. So like I
you know how to accentuate that stuff.
I've done them. Oh, totally. Princess Diana. That one, they said her sons actually got to see it. They fell in love with the piece. They sent thank you letters and stuff. I mean, it was really great, And I did a cover for the Beatles. They collected, I guess, the stories from the 70s, which I believe it was it Grant Morrison? He had a pen name when he worked on that before they re-released and they got the rights. You can even find it on Amazon. I think it's called the Rock and Roll Experience, the Beatles.
You work on that?
That's still available. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
You know what? I have to say, I'm looking at the eyes now too, and I see your portrait work coming through there. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. I take pride working on that. Thanks.
It's powerful.
Very, very good stuff. All right, so CYBERFROG Bloodhoney is currently at the printer. You can still back it if you want to. Links in the description. $221,651 for the third team up cover. This is it. I think we're gonna keep it up for another 3 weeks. That's, I guess, I'm overprinting this cover a certain number, and I think that we'll be able to cover it. In fact, I'm sure we will. Don't doubt it. I'm not gonna have a situation where we don't have enough books. We're gonna have plenty of books to give to people. And then CyberFrog and Vampirella. This is the main one tonight. It's only up for another 6 more hours. 6 more hours, and then this is closing. I'm just gonna close it out. I think we only kept it up for a month. But wow, it did really well so far today. $56,164. It's the variant cover for a copy of Vampirella versus the Reanimator. This is my cover. CyberFrog, Salamandroid, Vampirella, 2 ComicSgate characters interacting with a mainstream character. And honestly, if you don't like the book and you just want the poster, that's fine. We actually decided, because fans demanded it, we decided to go ahead and make a signed poster. So we'll send you this right here to your house. It'll be autographed. It's a high quality lithograph, measures 18 inches by 24 inches. And it's composed of high-grade 100-pound archival stock. So it's going to be a nice, thick paper, the perfect measure of durability to ensure its proud owner's enjoyment for years to come. Packaged individually in its own protective tube to guarantee safe shipping and handling. Don't worry. Everything that we send you is going to get to you safely. You don't have to worry about it getting beat up or getting wet.
And look how rare that poster is actually going to be. Because right now you have 60 claimed. Let's say you sell another 20 or 30. I don't know how many you're going to print. But
we're at I guess 94, because these people get all the books and the poster. So
that's incredibly rare. That's incredibly rare.
Could be limited to 100 for all we know.
I used to do posters back when I was a kid, but at 18 by 24 is a damn decent sized poster. It's 1.5 feet by 2 feet. Printed high end, signed individually. Even if it was not signed and it was a poster like that for $50, it's a damn good deal.
Well, we're trying to do a good job. We're trying to offer people what they want. They asked for this. I made it happen right away, and all this stuff is at the printer right now. So let me just stress: there will be no waiting for this. This will be shipping out. I think like in a couple of weeks, this will be shipping out. It's going to be pretty quick, because it's just a matter of putting a new cover on a file that the printer already has. And it's going to be a very quick process. Bloodhoney's different. They've got to break it down into, there's a sketch cover layer, and there's the chromium cover layer, and then of course incredibly high quality interiors, the paper. So it's going to be that's a little bit more of a printing process, but this is going to be pretty quick. So do order this. You have 6 more hours to get a copy of CyberFrog and Vampirella, the exclusive variant, the first one. I'm going to be doing some other stuff as well for Dynamite, and I hope you support it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're having fun backing and supporting ComicSgate projects and enjoying your perks when they come. Antoine Dennison says, the professionalism and talent on this panel is inspiring, EBS. You attract the best. Hey, keeping it drama-free, honestly. I hope you guys realize that. This new group of guys that I have on here, these guys are just here to sell comics. So far, there's no ego, no backbiting, none of this stuff. Let's just talk about our comics and see what we can do about selling them. All of them are ComicSgate. These guys all believe in ComicSgate values. So those of you who are particularly wanting to support and reward ComicSgaters, support all of these guys. You don't have to worry about it. Support every single one of them. They're all the books are all good. It's like there have been a couple of times where I've been like promoting a comic that I'm like, this isn't very good. And it's like, I know that. It's like, oh, I don't know why. I just felt bad. But this panel, every single one of the comics is A+ grade. So support them.
Thank you.
And enjoy them. You're all welcome.
You're gonna have Speed Tucci, okay? You're gonna like.
Yeah. So all right. So going through one last time, and then I'm going to sign off. I'm going to take a little break. I'll come back live streaming just to close out the show. Maybe I'll do the last 2 or 3 hours of the campaign. But Englewood, a comic by Micah Curtis, is at $25.15 right now. That's pretty good. Monster MD is just kicking ass. It's doing awesome. $37,210. Thank you guys for your endless support. We do appreciate it. Shinobi Sasquatch, $34,847. Support that comic. Offworlder by Ben Henderson, $9,440. College of the Dead is $850. City of Venus, I like to go back and see how these do the next day. 2210. That's great. You are this close. Oh my God.
Damn.
Vinny, you are $290 away from being funded. You guys, somebody in the audience has to come through and to just get Vinny funded here. Do you have anything that's big? You've got the $150 tier. Somebody's got to make Vinny's night and just get him funded tonight. Support City of Venus, Dead City. That is awesome. And then, of course, the CYBERFROG Bloodhoney team-up cover is still sitting at $221,651. Appreciate all of you. Love you. Let me go back and just read the super chats real quick and just make sure all is bueno. And then I'm going to release you guys back home to your parents, to your families. And school is over for the night.
Get the best uncle in the world.
Thank you. Thanks, kids. All right, let's see. Where's everything's? I'm telling you guys, when I complain about things being difficult, I'm not just whining. I'm being serious. There are delays with YouTube all the time. All right, let me just see this. Raging Goblin says, "Sorry for the wino crack." Wino crack. That sounds good. Micah DT says, "Cheers, Cecil. Enjoy the free drinks." $2 message deleted, but thank you for $2. Micah D2 says, "Cheers to Cecil listening with a drink in his hand." And Midnight Images says, "Just back CyberFrog Vampirella 3-pack and poster." That's the biggest tier that we have to offer. So Midnight Images, thank you for your support. It's awesome. Definitely showing up. By the way, I have a bet with someone in comics that it's not going to reach 60,000. Screw you. I think it might. We have 6 hours left. And the dude that I bet with, F you. You know who you are. Micah D2 says, "High five for the Micahs." Badass Comics says, "Oh, I read that one. Let me just run through here real quick. So bear with me, guys. Thank you. Jay Alexander says, "Free sports horror comic at Swim Club Comic." So at Swim Club Comic, you're going to get a free sports horror comic. Kay Brady says, Hans Gruber had a beard in the 80s, just saying. Bruce Lombardo says, "I think ET happened because Valiant Thor. We already covered Planet Serpo with Close Encounters of the Third Kind." Let's see. Oh, and Wonder Girl 60s super chatted me $100 tonight, and I just want to shout her out again. Thank you so much for that generous donation to the channel. Really appreciate it. Channel takes time. I mean, these super chats kind of pay for hours and hours and hours that we put into live streams. So thank you so much for that. And with that, I want to thank you guys again, and I will see you again later. We're going to close this out. It's going to be a little bit of a, we're out here selling tonight. Let's get the CyberFrog Vampirella campaign closed down. Thanks everyone. Oh, and then Liam shows up. He says, "There is a poll on my Twitter." Oh, a bunch of super chats are coming in. I'd like everyone in ComicSgate to vote on it and share it, please, on Liam Gray's Twitter, which is at RetroBoy1983. John Chidester says, "Get me that poster nice and safe, EVS. Don't worry, I've got specialists on the job." Servant of God 777 says, "Number 77 on Englewood, $15 counterpunch." Thank you, Micah. That's
my man.
Terrific. Wow. All right, guys. Thank you so much, guys, on the panel.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ethan.
Appreciate you.
Love it.
Everybody.
All right.
Always
Support these comics, guys. All the links are still in the description. If you're listening after this show, the links are still there. Support this comic all day and all morning tomorrow. All these comics. Thanks, guys. Bye.